Hello everybody and welcome to the Clipit podcast, episode 21. Today we are introducing nothing. Just thought I'd say that. I am Tactical TV, your wonderful host, and today, it's going to be an interesting one. Finally, it's not just going to be two of us, there's three of us here for once. And I hope you're all doing well. Blitz, it's good to see you in chat, and it's good to see everybody else in chat as always. Don't forget, these podcasts are recorded and uploaded later on. So if you want to check out these streams, or if you miss a podcast, go and check out YouTube, Spotify, Breaker, Apple Podcast and Google Podcasts, as well as a whole host of other places. So do check those out if you're interested. But yes, this podcast isn't all about me, as everybody keeps telling me it is my podcast. But no, it's our podcast. It's a family. We're a family. So let's go and speak to the other two wonderfully talented people. How are we both doing today?
Call me family again. I'm going to commit fratricide.
What the fuck's that?
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay, that's the topic for today.
That coming. Yeah, no, let's not.
Okay.
Is it?
I don't know what that is.
Oh dear.
Someone
Someone never did the
Latin.
Joseph play.
I did study Latin, but I got a U in
Latin.
Latin.
I know, so did I, and I still know, along with multiple of the other sides.
Oh,
Anyway,
dear,
how are
what
we
a start.
both doing today?
Yeah,
good.
thank you for having me on your podcast. That's
On
very
whose
specifically
podcast?
Yours.
It's our podcast.
Is it?
Yeah.
Does that
Sure.
include Ash?
Yes, it does.
Is Ash's really? Okay.
Yeah, Ash is involved like everybody else is.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so how's your day been, Agent Oink?
Yeah, it's not been too bad. I woke up and chilled for the day, really. Just had a nice korma. It's pretty good.
And that's korma.
Korma.
Interesting.
You know what korma is?
It's a curry.
Yeah. You just reacted to that like you had no idea what it was on about.
And how about yourself, Delicious?
Yeah. All right. Just have me din-dins nice and early, so we're set.
Right, I swear we've spoken about this on the podcast at some point, but 7 o'clock is a little late for dinner, in my opinion.
No, 8 o'clock's a good time for dinner.
Right. I'm sorry, but this is right. Topic started. Right, we're into this now.
Yeah.
7 o'clock is late for dinner.
Yeah. I
would
I
say
normally have
it's on average around when you should aim for dinner, but I personally prefer later, though I understand why my family don't.
Mm-hmm.
I would say personally, dinner is around between 5 and 6 o'clock. That's how I've always had it, and that's how I've always aimed for it.
Well, it's only a few hours after lunch. You're like 2 hours after lunch at that point.
My lunch is around 1 o'clock.
Oh, there's no good video. All the good
So-
uploaders upload at 3 o'clock, so you have to have lunch at 3, and then you have to wait a few hours for that to go down. Especially if you've had a big lunch, you want 7 or 8 at least for dinner.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I feel like 8 is too late. Way too late in my opinion. I don't know.
Hashtag 8 isn't late. Let's get it trending.
To be fair, I think the one thing we can all agree on is honestly, you should just eat when you're hungry. Because sometimes you have a big lunch for whatever reason, right?
Yeah.
Special occasion or something. You just honestly don't want anything in the evening till later, and probably not even a full meal sometimes, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I would say, personally, from what you just said there, is finish the sentence at just eat. It keeps you alive, it keeps you healthy, keeps you energized.
Just Eat is a good service. I personally prefer Food Hub. Hashtag not sponsored. But, yeah, I suppose that's personal preference, really.
I'm going to be honest, I've never used Food Hub. To be fair, I've never used Food Just Eat. I very rarely get deliveries in general. And if I do, I tend to just use the, on-site if they have one.
What?
If because I don't
You
order
use
stuff
that
like...
lavatory if they have one?
No, I don't
What are you
use...
chatting?
I don't use... Because I don't order from... So if I'm ordering from my local takeaway...
You order from their website
Yeah.
rather than Just Eat. Is that what we're saying? Okay. Good lord.
Yeah, there we go. We finally got there.
Most of those websites are also like big groups that run the website for them, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, they're like services. They're more like Wix, but they make like a food site for you, and then you just basically like it's all one standard template. You just give them the menu, and then
Oh,
they set
okay.
up the domain for you and stuff. It's like a thing, yeah.
Fair.
I understand what you mean there.
So as a lot of you could probably understand, we don't actually have topics, or at least we haven't got a structured podcast, which I always find go.
We regularly do.
When we always do them, we do the topics, and then we kind of just have this midpoint where we just stray off anyway. So it's just nice to talk about what's happened in the week, and we normally do that anyway.
So keen to derail any attempts at comprehension we have.
No. I'm just saying what we normally do, and that's why we may sound a bit like we don't know what we're talking about, because we just don't know what we're talking about. Man, a lot's happened since last week, though. At least in my life, I've lost a shit ton of hair. My head has been out of balance all week. I lost half a pound this week.
Epic today! Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lost half a pound this week. So I feel like that's just random. I think that's just sheer luck.
Topic number 2. Why are you measuring your weight in pounds?
Well, we're measuring them in stone, isn't it? Pounds, stone and pounds.
I mean, yeah, but why are we not measuring them in kilograms?
Because why not? We're British.
Yes, and our standard for measurement of weight is kilograms.
Is it?
Yes.
I thought it was stone.
No, the UK is entirely metric and standard apart from for colours.
Oh, okay. Well, I've always used stone.
The correct way of doing it.
It's traditional. We used to because, it's just history, but you shouldn't. It's not standard.
Fair.
Kilograms.
That's just what the weights we're using is.
They don't have a kilograms option?
They probably do. We just have it default to stone.
Are they electronic? Or are they like an old style?
No, we're using the kitchen weights. Actually, no, what we're using is we're using a massive plank and we're just putting stones on there.
That's understandable, like Valheim style.
Yeah, Valheim style. Man, Valheim's been... Actually, it hasn't done that much this week, apart from hitting 3 million users. Was it this week?
4 million.
4 million this week. Holy crap.
Oh, just apart from that, nothing big.
That's just a small number, We could hit that in a week, They need to really up their game.
Let's get this podcast to 4 million views. All right, people, share it with your friends.
Share it on Reddit, on Tumblr, on Twitter.
Twitch.tv/Clipit_podcast.
When we hit 4 million views, we will do a giveaway.
Actually, I was talking to my girlfriend about this yesterday. When I hit my next either sub or follower goal, depends on which one comes. She thought it would be funny if we waxed one of my either legs or arms live on stream or whatever you guys would like to see.
Oh, waxed, right? Okay. I was trying to figure out what the hell you said.
Yeah, I thought
absolutely.
That'd be quite
Let's
easy.
do a full body wax.
No.
Honest. Yeah, come on.
That's
how many views we could get?
That'll cost me more money than.
I'll do it.
Have you seen how many strips you have to need to do the entire body? I'm like.
Do you think you could get one giant one, like one of those?
Oh, we're not doing
that.
No.
From a ceiling?
Think about your nipples.
Yeah.
That'll hurt like shit.
Well, you do it. Don't do it if you're full body like that. You just do it for part, where you do your whole leg in one go. It like wraps around your leg, and you obviously can't rip it, so you have to peel it slowly off.
No.
It'd be lovely.
Should I just duct tape my leg?
We could have like a donation goal, so that instead of ripping it like back slowly by hand, we use like an electric drill or something.
Every time someone donates.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh god, no, that just sounds like that's an evil plan.
Let us know in chat. If you
£1 is 1 centimeter.
Oh no, that's just bullying at that point.
It's bullying.
Yeah.
Dear, oh dear.
Man, no, we're not doing that. But I will, if people would like to see it, our next goal,
We're not doing that immediately after. So if people
okay,
want
no, we're not doing the duct taping my leg and making a robot that can tear a bit off every now and
then. It's not
then.
going to be a robot. It's going to be an electric drill.
Which is a robot.
I'm not suggesting we hire Wally to do it.
I'm interested in your definition of robot here.
Oh, well...
Wait, who? Sorry, I just want to clarify.
No.
Okay.
Because a drill isn't a robot, but if you computerize the drill, it's a robot.
Who said we were computerizing the drill?
You have to computerize it. It's not just going to, by default, you don't buy a drill off the supermarket. From the supermarket.
I wasn't suggesting that we automate the process of receiving a donation to the drill moving. I thought that would just be manual.
Yeah.
What? One of you just stands there and just drills it
Yeah.
little bit by little bit.
Are you telling me
I'd
you
be
wouldn't
up for
take that
that.
opportunity?
Yeah.
But what about these
all over
COVID
that.
restrictions?
Well, when COVID's
Oh.
gone.
I mean, yeah, we set like quite a high goal, right?
Oh yeah, what
It'll
goal are we
take
setting?
time, yeah.
What goal are we setting? 500
We-
subs?
Good gods,
1,000.
we've got a backflip at 100 subs. We've got an electric drill
Did I
waxing
say I
at
was doing a
500.
backflip at 100
Don't
subs?
try and back out of this.
No,
you
I don't
always
remember
make
this.
promises,
We
and
said-
this
we
is
said a
one
lot
of
of
the only
things at
ones I
different sub
remember.
goals.
Well, I know at 500 I'm going to be wearing a maid outfit, which is confirmed.
And getting waxed with a drill, apparently.
Is that at 500 now? Oh god. Oh, that's good preparation wearing the maid outfit at least.
It gets your
Yeah,
leg
you
out.
could show off your new hairless legs.
I don't want
It sounds
to.
like a project, doesn't it? The JML hairless leg.
The
Oh,
JML
man, can you imagine
hairless
the
leg.
advert for that?
We have to make one.
JML have some banging adverts, man.
JML. I can't remember what JML is.
Oh, no, he's not British.
JML.
No, true, truly
Is
not.
that the fucking company that makes shit?
Everything.
You know, JML, the company that makes shit, a particularly accurate tagline.
Yeah, it's like a goldfish feeder and an electronic hammer all in one. It's awesome.
A what? A goldfish feeder?
Yeah.
Yeah, it feeds goldfish.
What sort of gold? No, wait, that's a stupid question.
What? The fishy kind.
You know what I mean? Like, you get different goldfish.
No.
Do all goldfish eat the same thing?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure but you could just buy fish flakes and fish food. I'm not sure it's like fish food for Siamese fighting fish food for minnows.
Minnow? Okay, now we're gonna have to talk about what the fuck's a minnow?
It's a fish!
Yeah, fish.
What the hell?
I don't own fish. Oh, my dad does.
But how
I
do you ever
don't.
own fish?
I've never owned a cod, but weirdly I know what they are.
Okay, that's
My God.
different. Because that's a very
Do you ha-
common fish.
Do you have to see something to know that it exists, Charles?
Yes.
Good lord.
I don't believe
it
that
would explain
Pluto
a lot.
exists, but apparently it does.
Like, next you'll tell me that you didn't realise that goldfish were carp.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh, what? Sorry?
They're carp.
Oh,
The
carp.
You know, the
Okay,
species of fish, carp.
I thought you said
goldfish are
carb.
carp.
I thought you meant carb like carbohydrate. I was like,
Oh, they
what?
do have carbohydrates in them, yeah.
Yeah, obviously. Okay.
Got a lot of omega as well.
Okay, I didn't really say we're actually carb, but that, I'm not going to deny that.
You're not gonna deny it?
He doesn't even believe me.
Yeah, like what? I'm not gonna deny that cat's a feline. Like, no, it's a matter of fact. You can't. What?
Cats are
You
feline.
can't deny. God.
I don't even know anymore. Is the thing. You just
No.
don't know.
No, at this point, I am joking. I like to be stupid.
Look, goldfish
right.
are a least concerned species, okay, and they can come in multiple fin configurations according to Wikipedia.
Fin configure. I like
Yeah, fin
the.
configuration is my new favourite
Configuration.
fish phrase that I've learned from looking at
Absolutely.
Wikipedia.
You can customize your fish loadout.
Like, a
That's an idea
wild
for a game.
Prussian carp with a distinct fin configuration is a sentence I never thought I'd read, but I love it.
I like my fish with a strong back fin. Dorsal fin? No,
Yeah.
that's dolphins.
Mm.
Oh god, could you imagine if they remade like Echo the Dolphin with fin
Did I?
configuration?
Have I had
It's
the
got the
swimming
latest.
argument with you?
It's the latest fin technology. No.
Sorry, Finn?
Oh, there was a swimming argument, and I'm trying. There were two. There were two separate arguments. I can't remember if I had them with you. So the first one was dolphin / butterfly is stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember hearing about this actually.
Okay, so maybe I did.
Dolphin. No, I don't know if I had this argument with you, but I do know dolphin isn't a swimming stroke, or a swimming stroke that is made to be practical. It's more of one of those flamboyant ones.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
They do
understand
races in
why people
butterfly
do it.
style. Why? It's awful. Fucking
Because it's
swim
one of
properly.
those ones that just takes it takes
You're not
time
12
to
anymore.
learn.
Fucking swim.
It
I
is a
mean-
stupid one though, because it is the most impractical.
Yeah,
stroke
no.
in the
It's
world.
like saying, okay, here's a plane. We've inverted all of the control surfaces. Go race them. Why? Oh, it's flamboyant. Fuck off. Just do it normally. No point.
yeah, I mean,
Run over my cable again.
As far as I'm concerned, like the only two really acceptable, three actually, I'll say, really acceptable swimming positions would be like breaststroke, front crawl, and backstroke, right?
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this article, I'm just on Wikipedia for the butterfly stroke.
Oh,
And this article, I love it because it says it just goes from this is why it's amazing to this is why it's bad. You ready? The peak
Right.
speed of the butterfly is faster than that of the front crawl due to the synchronous pole push with both arms and legs, which is done
they say
quickly.
it is.
Yet, since speed drops significantly during the recovery phase, it is overall slower than the front crawl. So,
God, like, yeah, I've only been told the first bit of that sentence. I was like, well, yeah, but that doesn't account for like the rest of the time when you're not pulling.
yeah,
like an
it's,
idiot.
This is an interesting sentence that I would like to actually discuss. The
Okay.
breaststroke, backstroke, and front crawl can all be swum easily, even if the swimmer's technique is not the best. Now, I understand that is very dependent on swimmer's technique there, right? But
Yeah.
I think if someone is not great at swimming, front crawl and backstroke are actually not like particularly like. Unless you've swum before, like they're not something that you can do like very naturally. Whereas breaststroke is just a pretty natural, like you just move your arms basically.
I can't
And your
remember.
legs.
Breaststroke now. Give me a minute.
Like I think breaststroke's pretty
Like a
like
frog.
simple
Okay.
to just move around with. And front crawl's definitely what I prefer to use if I'm like trying to swim somewhere.
Yeah.
If you're not good at swimming, like I would not say like if someone asked what to you, I wouldn't say go for front crawl. That just seems kind of stupid.
So yeah, again, both like the breaststroke is one of those stupid ones. It's like the, no, I don't like the breaststroke personally because it just again it seems impractical. But then again, I can understand what you mean. Like front crawl is the best one because if you do it properly, you're breathing in and out on the strokes, so there's no need to really stop. And
Backstroke is
all that.
awesome if you've got open space. If you're
Yes.
coming up for the edge of a pool, there's one of two things is going to happen. You're going to break your arm or you're going to get a concussion. There is no
Yeah.
in between.
Yep, I've done many
That's
times.
it.
Actually, no, there's a
just-
third failure. Somehow, despite you checking and being the only one in the pool, you run into someone.
Yep,
Oh, yeah.
I've done that plenty of times before. I haven't been swimming for years. I think last time I went swimming.
Very rarely
would've
been swimming outside of school lessons. I'm capable of swimming. It's
I wouldn't say I'm particularly confident swimming like in like a high stress environment now. Like it's been a long time since swimming. I'm not particularly fit, but I can swim. Like I'm confident that I won't sink or drown if I was in open water. I can, tread water fine if I need to keep afloat for a long time. Like I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say
mushroom
like
float.
I'm a particularly strong swimmer because I haven't swum in years properly. No.
well, I think the last time I went swimming would have been 2018. 2019 was when I was on holiday. I actually learned how to dive properly. Not dive like off a fin, but like under the water, like get deep as you possibly can. Dive into the water,
I see.
not dive. But like,
Did you not swim underwater then? Did you just like have the problem of always floating up?
yes.
I don't.
I
float.
always struggle getting down.
I've
Yeah, I know
never
some people-
floated. I have
I
to
know some
actively
people
put
have
effort
that.
into it.
But yeah, I've always found it pretty easy to stay under the water. if I
I've never
choose
been able to.
which normally I don't.
Someone accidentally. No, I'm not saying that story. And I also started that off wrong. They didn't accidentally. Someone sat on my head in a swimming pool and timed how long I couldn't breathe,
Oh,
which was
God.
2 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
Don't
was
do that.
fun. Don't do that.
Oh,
no.
yeah, brilliant fun.
When I was on
Uh,
holiday once, we were in a swimming pool and we had to be evacuated because a kid defecated in the kids' pool and they were on the
fuck's
same water filtration system.
the swimming pool I went
Yeah.
to, they had a steam room and a sauna.
Oh.
Steam
Oh,
rooms
we just
are
had a
wonderful, but man, they do push you to your like.
So-
I mean,
So-
it's just a prolonged shower, isn't it? A steam room.
You know,
kind of,
kind of. I mean, you tend to shower before you get in them, but
and
Yeah.
after
well, not necessarily.
you're
Yeah.
quite sweaty when you come
Yeah,
out. Anyway,
welcome
carry
to-
on.
Yeah, but it's not like a like okay, like I would shower if I came out of a steam room, but I wouldn't say it's like a requirement. But if I'm gonna get into a
Oh,
public
yeah,
steam
yeah.
room with a bunch of other people, I'm gonna shower because that would be a bit weird to like get that naked and brush up against them. And have like two.
Oh, okay.
You know,
no.
fairly
No,
sexy
the
men.
problem,
people.
the
What the
problem you're
hell?
having there is you're going in publicly.
Oh, you're in a fucking private steam
I was
room?
gonna
I
say,
don't
I'm
know.
No, the
about
one
that.
that we had there. Oh, for one, there was barely anybody in the swimming pool. At max, there was like
Well, that's
5
convenient.
of us.
Yeah.
And nobody ever used the steam rooms. And also, there was just the politeness of if you wanted to use the steam room, you would wait for the other users to, leave, and you would have it to yourself or with you and
Oh,
a friend.
was it one of the small electronic ones?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. No, I'm thinking of a proper steam room, like a public. It's the wooden steam room, like you'd go
Like
to
a
Finland
sauna?
and get like saunas. No, because there's still steam rooms. There's a difference between a sauna
I
and
know,
a
but
steam
what I mean
room.
is
But
it's
yes,
like a sauna, but just a steam room.
yes,
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
principally. No, you know how I am with heat. I'm sure. I'm sure you would know as someone that knows me. I don't deal well with heat. If I go into a sauna for more than about 30 seconds, I will straight just faint.
Oh, fair.
Oh,
Yeah, well, I mean, I won't literally faint, but
That's
I probably,
interesting
okay, maybe for a
knowledge.
couple minutes I probably would. But yeah, I cannot be in a sauna for very long.
yeah, that's the 300 sub goal.
Like
What,
I
sitting in a
really don't
sauna?
deal well with heat when it hits like
Yeah.
20 C in the UK. I mean, when it hits like 16, 17 C in the UK, if I go outside, I feel ill. Like I really, my
Ooh.
body just hates heat. Horrible.
That's an interesting thought then. Like, if we were to share a house, we would need like heating between rooms then, as well as
Why?
like,
Do you like the
over-
heat?
Not the heat, but I
Yeah,
think
I don't
like,
mind-
19's a comfortable temperature in a room.
Yeah, like I don't mind heat inside. Let's provided it's not like
Okay.
hugely hot. It's being in like the sun and outside that does it. Or
That's
in
fair
just
enough.
like it's really hot, like a sauna, right? Where it's obviously a bit above 19 degrees C. Yeah, no, I don't know. My body just doesn't deal with heat. It makes me really ill and faint. Always has done. You might remember actually, I passed out once at school because of that, because it was a room full of people and it got really hot in there, and my body just went fuck that.
I
Well,
don't
nearly
remember
passed out.
that.
I didn't
I
fully,
was
I
about to
didn't
say,
fully
is it
pass
weird
out,
that
but
I don't remember
I grayed
that?
out. Yeah, I'll try to do this without going into too much details. I don't remember the specific reason this was happening, but there was a big event where everyone had been packed into like the hall, quote unquote, that it wasn't really a hall, but to
The
look at.
fallopian tubes, yes.
Yeah, and everyone was there. And during that, I started to feel really ill, but didn't think much of it. And then basically, I don't remember much at this point because I was intermittently graying out, I think, basically. But I basically lost most of my hearing. I was starting to lose my vision. And I turned to a school member who I'll mention who it was after this thing. And they just went, "Holy shit, you look like a ghost," and took me to a teacher. And they were like, "You're gonna faint if we leave this like any seconds." They like very quickly got me outside and sat me down. And I was like pretty much fine after that. They got me some food and drink, but yeah, it was
Yeah,
it wasn't
that doesn't sound
great.
pleasant at all.
Yeah, it happens to me. I've had that quite a lot. I do just don't deal well with heat in that sense.
Right, okay, so when we hit 300 subscribers, we're going to do a stream in a sauna.
Yeah,
I think
I'll
that'd be
just
fun.
bring in a air controller, air conditioner.
Yeah, just
What
your own
didn't
personal
you
hair.
miss, T?
What you'll do is, you know that picture you sent of all those musicians in a hall. You'll just take one of those. There's little tents just to stay in. It's air conditioned.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
It'll stick a fan on it, you know.
Yeah,
No,
no,
from my computer.
that's a great idea, honestly. Man, we've got a lot to plan, so.
Jesus, you know, when we started this podcast, we talked about not having topics, and you know, we were a bit slow at start. I don't know how we managed to go from whatever we were even talking about at the start. I can't remember, to swimming methods to saunas and heat.
Well, it was the suggestion of goldfish.
Oh yeah, it was the whole fish.
Yeah, because Charles didn't know what a minnow was, because he's never seen one, so therefore they don't exist. Oh man, I can recall that far back. Shit's a blurby on like a minute ago. I don't know.
Yeah, it really is.
It's yeah. Yeah, we spoke about fish, then it went to swimming, and then we went to saunas.
Yeah.
Oh, we kind of we started on saunas, and then Alfie started talking about how he couldn't.
That was something I was going to say.
Deal
When
with
was
it
the
as
last time you guys cycled?
cycled?
Not for ages, but it's one of those things. They say once you learn to ride a bike, you don't forget. I feel confident I could just get on a bike at any point and be like, yeah, I'm riding it.
How about you, Charles?
Caught me at a bad time.
Oh, okay. So I really like cycling actually. I didn't have a bike with gears for ages, and then I did. And man, there's a hill near my house, and it's not a big hill, but I never realised the difference the gearing made on bikes.
Yeah, no,
Because
it's so good. Having an actual proper bike is like a big difference for cycling enjoyment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I really like cycling. I haven't cycled in a very long time. What year is it now? Probably over
2021.
6-7 years. And
Yeah.
what I mean, I have been on a bike a couple times but I've not cycled. Right, I've not been regularly
Oh, I
cycling.
don't think
because
I've been on a bike in that time.
Yeah, we used to regularly cycle as a family. I was very confident on a bike. We used to all go out as a family and cycle for like kilometers a day. It was pretty good fun. It was great.
Show off.
But I haven't cycled in a long time now, and as you guys will
Don't know
know,
why
I have a
Paul can't.
coordination disorder, which means my coordination can be very bad. And while I don't think I would fall off a bike, I would be unable to cycle in the sense that I literally couldn't move on a bike right now. Like I would be able to cycle around. In fact, the last time I did own a bike was a few years ago, and I cycled around my estate farm and stuff. But I don't feel like I could cycle. Like I wouldn't feel confident cycling on my own on the street and stuff anymore, because I just feel like I'm going to fall off it at some point when I make a mistake, because my coordination just is the instinct isn't there anymore.
Right.
That's really sad because I miss cycling. I want to
Fair.
cycle more.
And
What about you, Charles? Cycling.
for me, I haven't cycled. The last time I would have cycled would have been 2019, but that was briefly just because Cass got a bike. She hasn't used it since, but she got a bike and she was like, "Come over and try it." So I did.
That's always the way, isn't it?
I love bike. I love cycling. I love like I used to,
bike.
I used to have a mountain bike. Was probably one of the first ones I remember like really enjoy using. I've got a
Fancy.
funny story about that bike actually. It was a really nice mountain bike. It was yellow body with a black sort of like front, sort of the frame where the handlebar is. Really cool. It had a blue sticker on it of the brand name. I can't for the life of me remember the name of it. But I love that bike to pieces. Used to ride it more or less twice a week on our little green we used to live on. And yeah, I'm still quite confident when it comes to bikes. Like when I went on my girlfriend's, I was wheeling and jumping off fucking little walls. I love riding a bike. But the funny story with that bike, my next door neighbour, who is one of my one of my family friends, known him since we moved down more or less. He decided to go on my bike. Now, for context, I don't know why this is, but his dad for some reason decided to, I'm assuming to fix the issue or something, but his dad switched the brake lines on his bike. So the left one was, so I can't remember what they are by default, but let's say on my bike, the left brake was the back wheel, the right brake was the front wheel. His dad switched that. So he got used to having the left brake being the front wheel and the right brake being the back
slightly
wheel.
Awkward, yeah.
So he decided to go, "Hey Charlie, you got a cool bike there. Can I have a go on it?" He started riding it around, and this green we lived on was slightly hilled. So he started, like, he went to the top of it. He started coming down. He's like, "Charlie, watch me do a wheelie." Proceeds to press the brake as hard as he can and did a front flip right in front of me. I rushed in to make sure I can get my parents in time, walk out, and he's just there like, "Oh, I'm fine, don't worry about me." It was just...
Front bike brakes are too strong, man. They are the strongest
Your brakes
substance.
are configured wrong if they're like that.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, no, yeah.
What do you mean? I buy bike. I don't tune bike. I don't give it a body kit. A bike is a bike
Monkey
to
buy
me.
bike,
If
monkey
they
not
give it
Mike's
to me,
bike.
Do you buy them
And they've
brand
messed
new
up
or
the brakes.
second
I
hand?
don't
Because
know.
I can understand, yeah. Like,
I don't.
both
know.
brakes should be quite soft in general, I feel. They shouldn't be, you press it, it instantly locks on. It also depends on what brake you have.
With
But
the
it's
back
not
brake,
Murder.
I think it's personal taste. Like, I wouldn't want it just to lock on fully immediately, but like, you know, it's personal taste mostly. But definitely with the front brake, I think it should never go like to a too strong point. You can still adjust it personally. You can still have it on relatively strong, but it should never be like particularly strong.
Murderous strength. Yeah.
I completely agree. It shouldn't be, like you press it. It's the front brake. It shouldn't like lock the wheel ever, in my opinion, because then that's when it can cause issues.
Yeah.
Oh, but I wasn't really paying attention to the RPM of the wheel at said time. But I'll be sure to find out when I next go cycling.
I will say this though. Again, this very depends on the price you're paying on a bike or what bike you got, but what brake you have as well. I don't know what the other one's called, but having a disc brake will be more effective in general. You're more likely to lock the wheel up more times if you have a disc brake, just because they are a lot more effective than a squeegee brake. I'm gonna call them because they are basically little squeegees. But
I would also say that in my experience riding bikes, not that I've done it in a while, but when I was very regularly going up and down hill, you know, riding across a lot of different terrain. Never particularly like rocky terrain, but you know, we went across grass and dirt and stuff as well as standard like paved roads. I don't feel like you need to use a front brake on a bike.
I was just about to say that.
It's exceptionally rare that you need to use them.
I was just about to say that.
And
Surely
I
they
want
should
to not have one, but it's like very rare that I have ever needed to actually use one.
I was going to say, what has anybody ever needed to use a front brake? I have before. But secondly, why? Why are they added? The only reason I can think of is stuff like BMXs and mountain bikes when people want to do tricks and you know what they do. I don't know, the fucking insane stuff they do mountain biking.
Well, I think for like
But apart from
emergency as well, for when you just need like a very sudden brake power, which like obviously you don't want to do the majority of the time, right? But what's better if you're gonna like, you know, if you're driving towards a cliff edge, would you rather just like brake early and then like fall over the front of your bike, or would you rather just not brake in time and fall off the cliff? That's
Off
a
the
weird
cliff.
scenario.
Yeah, but again, in that situation, if you're going to go off the bike forwards, you're more likely going to fall off the cliff.
No, because you brake earlier.
Okay. I had to brake. I had a dog chasing me
Also,
on this
don't
green
ride
once.
near a cliff. That's the main solution.
I had a dog chasing me at this green once
It's
when
not
I was
wrong.
on this same bike. And I remember when I was going along a path, I knew I looked back at the dog, looked forward, and there was this fence coming up to me. And I was like, I don't have time to turn or get off the bike. So I just pushed both brakes as much as I can, put my feet down to steady myself. I didn't flip the bike because my front brake isn't stupidly tight. It didn't flip it. I ended up hitting the fence and the chain came off, and this dog just stood there barking the shit out of me. I was terrified, man.
Oh.
It was, you know what the funny thing is? It was a little Jack Russell.
I've had
No,
an
that
alright
that
experience
makes
with
it more
dogs.
understandable.
But no,
Yeah,
I
those
at
little
this same
yappy
place, I
bastards.
had the same recurring dream of me riding a bike, and it always ended with me hitting something, but ending just beforehand. It always ended with me riding down a really steep hill and then hitting something because the brakes didn't work.
Interesting.
Yeah, that happened like 4 or 5 times when I was younger. So
Well, I'll still never forget the time that I first learned to ride a bike when I was a kid.
I don't
I
remember learning.
vaguely remember.
Yeah, I think I vaguely told this story before. I think on a podcast, but fuck it, I'll just say it again. In
Was
shorthand
there
form.
was there an old lady trying to help you get a scooter out of a tree?
No.
Okay.
That's an old throwback.
Yeah. I was in a park. I'd been learning to ride it for a while, like you do when you're a kid, right? And while I'd been learning to ride and not having stabilizers on my bike, my dad had been holding onto the back seat as I was riding along, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, pretty standard thing that you do, just you got some confidence. And the first time he let go, he just didn't tell me that he let go, and then I realized he wasn't holding on and immediately crashed because I just panicked, and
That-
it was slightly traumatizing.
That almost happened to me on a horse. So
Okay, before you
Hang
tell
on.
the story, I just want everyone to imagine 2 things. Number 1, a horse with stabilizers, and number 2, a horse where someone's dad is holding onto its back.
Mm-hmm.
what actually happened was
I suppose his dad is tall enough. Let's
That's
be
true.
honest.
on the first ever horse ride I did. I think it was the first one I ever did. They took us all out on a trail on these horses, and it was this quite thin bit of dirt track with a hill on one side, and I was in front for some god knows reason. And the lady that was leading my horse, because I wasn't trained to ride a horse, nobody I knew there was trained to ride a horse apart from the people right at the back who obviously owned the place. There was a lady leading my horse, and someone was having issues behind me, so she just let go of the horse, walked back, and just trusted the horse would just carry on its way. And I was shit scared the horse was just going to lean down and try and eat something like in the hill, and I'll just fly off. But
Yeah.
man, who trusts a child on a horse? Like,
I-
did they really trust that horse that it wouldn't do anything?
Yeah, I don't like riding horses. I actually really have a fear of big animals like horses. Oh, okay, no, not like all of them. I just don't like stronger animals like that. I don't feel like I can control it any way other than socially, right? Like if a horse wants to run me down, it can run me down. I mean, I could try to get out of its way, but if I was in front of it,
That happened to me as
You
well.
can't fucking debate with it.
No, that genuinely happened to
you
me
know
as
what
well.
I mean? So but from my experience with horses and stuff, and I've had family members and stuff that liked riding horses and stuff for like extended periods in the past. They're generally pretty chill. Like when they're trained like that to be ridden, like they will just keep going. Especially if they're like with a riding school and stuff. When they're very used to just doing that same path every day, they can pretty much do it on their own. They're pretty
Yeah,
smart
but
horses.
it'll be the one time that there's like some dumb 6-year-old on their back that they won't. You
Yeah.
can't trust them. There's a field I used to go to see a couple of horses just to.
I remember
I'm going
where I
for it.
used to live. I used to live in a very small village, and it was very rural, small village. But I remember, I was doing a bike ride with two of my friends, and about halfway through the bike ride, we saw this white horse was running fast as it can on the main road that we were on, or on this road we were on. And I was just on the corner of the road, and I see this man behind him, so I obviously knew the horse had got out of a field or something, and it was just galloping as fast as it can. And all I just remember seeing is both my friends legging it as fast as I can. I grabbed the one that was closest to me and just dragged him towards me, because I knew
as fast as you could.
No, because I knew that if the horses don't really get frightened by if you just stand there, they're less likely to go for you. They tend to just go for movement, or if you're doing something threatening. So I just pulled him into the hedge with me, and we just stood there as the horse ran off. And later on in that day, nobody had saw that horse. So God knows what happened to the horse. We didn't see it. God knows.
So you treated a horse like a T-Rex, is what you're telling me?
Oh, it didn't. That's what I've been taught. Because my sister used to have a horse, and she loves horses. So she's been around them and knows a lot about them. So that's what I was always taught: is just don't do anything in front of a horse, or at least anything that's threatening or anything like that. But yeah, it was
no, don't pull out a knife and start gesturing at it.
But it was just the fact the horse just was never seen after that. So I was just like, God knows what happened. Did it run away forever? Nobody found it. It made its own new home or something. Man,
bushes.
A lot happened when I was young. I miss those days, except from I don't, but I miss those days. So
yes, the days of freeing people's domesticated animals.
But
yeah.
Have any of you got any funny animal stories?
Ooh, I was just thinking. I think I've had a pretty good run with animals. There's only one that I can remember.
And do you want to say?
I'm not sure I like it. No.
Don't worry.
Well, I don't know. I'm at this position where I feel like I have to.
No, you don't have to. We're in a
safe
safe
space. You don't
space.
have to say anything.
Safe space. Shut up.
I've got a funny one.
It was... Fuck it, we'll go for it. It was in France. I had no control over this situation. I was a kid. Fuck you all. It was in France. We'd just come out of...
Stuck in
I
a
get
lion
the feeling
pen.
it was like an antique shop in the middle of nowhere. All I remember is it was selling old shit and shit that I didn't care about. But I was like a child at the time.
Was there a bull?
No, it's a dog. I was running back to the car in this like gravelly fucking car park. For the love of God, loose ground, I hate it. I slipped, cut myself because fucking loose gravel everywhere because it's the
worst.
Dumbest surface ever. Honestly.
Oh no, I feel like the Microsoft Surface is pretty bad, but
For fuck's sake.
And then I remember a joke. It didn't last long because my parents were, just behind me. It was just I'd run to get to the car quicker. Pretty sure a dog fucking humped me.
Oh.
So that was
yeah,
an
they do
unfortunate
that sometimes.
experience. Other than that, though, I mean, animals-wise, animals seem pretty chill. I really do like animals. They're fucking awesome.
I've actually got a story about gravel.
Just, have slight fears of some of them and had most, but I hold nothing against them. They're just animals.
Fair. No, I've got a funny story about gravel. Well, it's kind of funny. It's just, being a child, you do stupid shit. We went to I think it was one of my parents' work colleagues. We went to like a barbecue once. This was when I was like 12.
Mm-hmm.
And their back garden was all gravel, and they had this fire in the middle of it, like this like proper big fire. And I thought, I don't know how it came across, but I just remember I chucked a rock in there, one of the gravel stones, and it made a popping sound. I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm going to do this more. So I just spent like an hour doing this. And then I don't know how I didn't do this earlier, but I ended up picking one of the rocks that had been in the fire, popped, and it had burnt my hand.
Jesus.
I don't know how I managed to not like severely like scar myself, but man, don't chuck rocks in a fire. That's what I can tell you, or gravel in a fire. So
Don't pick up hot rocks, honestly.
But yeah, gravel is just one of those stupid. I can understand it if you're doing it in like a car park,
What's it ever done for us apart from have physics in Minecraft? Fucking gravel.
Yeah, but if you're putting gravel down in a car park, right?
Yeah.
I'll say this. The problem you got is that if anyone drives too fast, it's going to get everywhere. Right? That's what gravel does on a road surface.
Yeah.
So why don't you just use a very dense wood chip? Because you can't just use like standard wood chip using a playground because it's too soft. But if you get like a harder, denser wood chip, like more like a solid bark, that'd work better. And then if it gets flung up, it's just wood. It's not going to do as much damage as stones.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh no, I
'Cause
hate. No. We are not talking about bark. Is the worst, man.
Okay.
Okay,
I was
it's
gonna say, with
softer,
softwood
but-
bark, I think you're okay.
As a flooring or just in
hardwood bark,
life?
I'd be concerned about like splinters and things. Well, that sounds like
Yeah, but you don't like touch it
that
with
sounds
skin.
like falling
Okay,
into goddamn
okay. This is gonna
punji
make us. This is gonna
sticks.
be making
But-
me sound stupid again. But
Right.
when I was
I'm
younger,
excited.
when I used to live at this village again, there was a garden centre opposite us, or like near us.
That was.
Wonderful place. However,
Our house. Was it a gun centre?
and it had on the
Charlie's family
road
let me
down.
illegally drink there.
On the road down, they had the garden centre, like the big field. It had loads of trees, and one day they cut all those trees down, which was wonderful because they left the big trees there, and we made like burrows in where all the leaves were and all that. But they proceeded to chop the wood, make it into wood chippings and all that, and they left that next to a gate that we would always climb over to get into the garden centre.
Oh God.
Legitimately. We used to spend so much time in there. It was like a field. I'm pretty sure it was public, private. Anyway, we were young. Who cares? We didn't.
Trespass is legal.
Yeah, we didn't do any
Was.
damage. Isn't trespassing in the
asterisk
UK
that.
legal until you do damage? At which point it becomes property
Was.
damage.
Asterisk was.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure when that law comes into effect, but that is being changed
Oh, great.
on the. Yeah.
Anyway, that was. I'm not going to do that again. But yeah, we used to go in, and there was a huge There was a huge pile of log trimmings and chipped wood, and we used to just play on that all the time, jumping off it because it was slightly soft wood. We would just mess around with it. Man, I remember getting that stuff in my eyes. It stings.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
I was wondering where this
We were
was going.
chucking it at each other. Like we would just fucking mess around in it.
What the hell?
Jesus Christ.
It was the worst.
What the
What's
hell?
wrong with you people?
What the
We were
hell?
young and bored. Though the den we made out of the fucking
And
trees was insane. Like it was like a little burrow. It was wonderful. And then they got rid of all the trees. So fuck them, I guess. But yeah, that was fun. And we used to
how
explore
dare
that.
they
We
prevent eye splinters?
great place to play hide and seek. Great place to play hide and seek.
Apparently in the pile, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, like I remember the smell because it is a very distinctive smell. And obviously, it's rotting underneath, so it wasn't nice. If you dig into it, basically, just don't do that.
God.
That's what I can tell you.
Just don't mess around with leaves that aren't on trees. Like
There was
you don't know
also a
what's under
haunted
there.
house where we lived. That was great.
It could be spiders.
Well, like
or...
an attraction or
Dog-
just a house that was haunted?
Oh, because the original owners, from what the story I heard, the original owners passed away. The next of king never sold it, and they would always put flowers in the window. But it was just left for years, and it was apparently haunted. It was a fucking creepy looking house.
Didn't you used to live in a haunted house?
Oh, so
Sorry,
apparently my
a
dad
supposedly haunted
yeah.
house.
So I'll give context after this, but my dad apparently saw a ghost cat, black cat, and
Right.
a ghost cow. Now, for context of the black cat, we used to own a black cat, so God knows what that would is. And secondly, that house was a barn conversion. Apparently, it used to be where they would keep all the cows on the land behind us.
The cow was just a regretful burger.
Yeah.
that they had.
It had some revenge it needed to get. I don't know. It was a lovely house, except from all the windows were leaky, and it was because it was in the middle of nowhere.
Apart from that,
blew
it
me.
was terrible as a house. Is what
Yeah,
you're telling
yeah.
me. Okay.
So
Dear, oh dear.
Yeah, pretty much.
lovely house though. I used to have an ensuite in my room. That was great fun.
Man, I wish I had an ensuite. Fucking having to go out of my room to go to the bathroom.
I I don't
All
mind
I need is an
having.
ensuite and a microwave, and I'm sorted.
Wait a
Just buy a
second.
studio flat.
Yeah, but I'm noisy.
Are you a mod on my channel? Wait, what?
I don't know if that's going on in chat or if.
Yeah, no, in
I
chat.
know
I
it's
was
going
just.
on
To you
in chat.
talking to Blitz, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I meant.
Oh, okay.
Because
Yeah.
otherwise, we've got something to review.
Anyway. Yeah. Oh man, this has
You
been
know,
an
I don't know if
interesting podcast.
If I would personally say that I prefer an ensuite as my toilet access method, as long as the toilet is near my room, that's more my concern. I don't mind having to go to my room as long as it's not far.
Yeah.
Wait,
You
so
could
you
have the
wouldn't?
convenience of not having to.
Yeah, would you really not like an ensuite?
I just don't think it makes much difference to my life. Like right now, I open my door, walk about 2 steps, open another door, shut the door behind me, walk about 2 steps, and I'm at the toilet. Like,
But also, okay,
is that
so
going to be
there's a
made
few
different by
things.
having to walk 2 steps to a different?
Yes,
like
it's
likely,
different, and
if
here's
an
why.
ensuite was in my room, it would likely be in the far corners. It would be literally the same distance to walk, just one less door to open.
Okay, but here's the thing. Assuming it's a proper ensuite and not one of those ensuites you can enter both through the room and through the hall, at which point
Yeah,
it's
it's
not really
weird.
an ensuite. You have a few advantages. One, you don't have to leave the climate of your room, which, especially in my house, it's really cold if I go elsewhere in my house, but because I keep my door shut, it's nice and warm in my room. At least to me. Also, you just don't have like the social obligation. You can spend as long as you want in there. No one's gonna come and knock and suddenly like you're gonna do something like messy. You know, you could just chill, take your time. That's a nice proper bathroom there. Anything could
Okay,
happen in there.
okay,
no
no,
obligation.
Can I just say something before Alfie
You could
carries
murder
on?
someone and it would be your bathroom, man. Who cares?
I want to
It's
ask.
fair play.
Shall we bring up this topic we had earlier with a certain someone in our chat as well, or like just say it in general after what Agent Oinknick says? You know, the whole how fast does it take?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because that's
Oh yeah, we'll get on to that. That's a good call actually. Look at this segueing. You know,
Yeah.
It took us 5 minutes to
planned
figure
as
out how this segue was gonna work. So yeah, what I was just gonna say is, like, the second part, sure, whatever. I get that. You get a bit jumpy sometimes, maybe when someone knocks on the door. But
Or they just
social
walk past,
obligation,
yeah.
right? That's on your family if they're being that much, you know, if they're
Oh
that.
yeah, it's
dicks
absolutely on them, but it
towards
doesn't
you.
make me feel better.
I mean, yeah, but you should let you stop yourself from caring, bro. Let yourself go
Or
a
just
bit.
like the idea that, okay, I need to, this has happened many times, I need to go to work and I wake up X amount of minutes before work, just because that's unfortunately how I wake up. Someone's in the bathroom, I'm screwed. I've just got to go and have like a wee at work after I've served the first lot of customers. I've got to like find something minty to quickly nibble down on.
I can understand.
Um,
I think actually a
Given the
good thing I would
option is
argue
what
to this is that 2 bathrooms is what I would expect from a family house.
Oh, that's what we have, but sometimes two's just not enough.
we have two, one right next to the other.
Also, the toothbrushes are all in one, which
Yeah, that's understandable, I guess.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought you meant
I
it was
don't
an
know, this
all-in-one
is-
toothbrush. I was like, what the fuck are you on about?
we don't have like locks on either of our, which to be fair isn't really ever.
But yeah,
a
that's
problem.
just insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. It's something a couple of my extended family does. They don't have locks on any of their bathrooms.
Yeah, you just
And
knock.
It's just insane. Here's why. Here's why it's insane.
Maybe
and
this
you're
is
wrong.
why I want an ensuite more.
Maybe actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
If you're with a family, right,
Yeah.
and your family's aware that's the protocol, and is comfortable with it because it's how you've all grown up, or it's just how you've all lived for years, right?
Mm-hmm.
People are very used to just knocking, and whatever social method you have of that interaction, right? But it is not fair on visitors or extended family members of your household that don't use that system.
Knock.
Because
You're
if I'm
a
going
monster if you
toilet-
don't. I don't care if there's a lock. You still knock on the door.
No. If I'm going toilet, right,
Mm-hmm.
in someone else's house and there's not a lock, that makes me horrifically uncomfortable.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
it
I can
feels
see
like
why it would make
anyone
you,
could just walk
very
in.
uncomfortable
right?
and anxious. Yeah.
And knocking on a toilet is pointless in our household because that is never a situation when I would need to knock on the toilet because there's a lock. I can see from the outside, oh no, a child is trapped in
Oh,
my
that's
toilet,
another one as well.
twisty,
Like whether
the
the lock's
locky
visible from
thingy.
the outside.
right thing. Well, it's not like one of the ones that says like vacant or engaged or whatever, but it's just like the sound of like coin twist that you can do to unlock it from the outside.
I mean, yeah, but it could just be like
you
a
can just
goddamn
see from that
shut door.
immediately if someone's in there. So and the door was shut, so it's like it's a bam.
Yeah.
There's no need to lock. If I open the door if it's open, if not, I just move to the other side of the bathroom, and that's probably used to, and then I cry.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm with Alfie on this. I feel like there needs to be a lock on the bathroom just because it's one of those private areas in general, and especially if you have guests over. Knocking is always a great thing to do in general. It's always best to make sure. But
Yeah.
like I've always lived in a house where the lock's never visible from the outside, so
That's understandable. Yeah.
yeah, to be fair, I've never really seen a lock
I've never
from the
lived in a
outside.
house with locks on the bathroom. I've seen one with good the light switch
No,
for
no, no,
the
no, no.
bathroom light on the outside. I know it's a
That's
separate thing.
horrible.
It's awful.
Okay, so yeah,
Why?
I went to a
But
B&B
yeah.
like that. I went to a B&B that had the light switch on the outside and didn't have a lock. So I proceeded to always take it. I was there with two of my mates, two of my mates who you guys know. So every time I went for a shower or went to the toilet, I would always proceed to take a chair in with me. So I would, lock the door with the chair,
Oh,
or at least
my
make sure
God,
they
that's
can't just
so much
push it
extra.
in. Also, they would. I was worried they would turn the light off, which was terrifying.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm scared of the light.
That
Not
happened
dark.
to me at a friend's house.
But
I've just the other thing.
I know that
about
was what I wanted to say. Sorry,
Okay, go on.
you can't say you haven't lived in another house without any other lock. You've lived in one house.
I know. And what
Like,
an
okay, I'm
okay
not sure
house
that's-
it's been.
Yes.
Like I get the point you're getting at there, and he doesn't have a particularly large sample size, but you can say that. That does still like mathematically
I've
make
also
sense.
been to other houses in general which have had a lot, and it's nice. It's preferred. The other thing I was going to say, this is more with school bathrooms, outdoor bathrooms, especially ones that are designed for disabled access. You know how they are. They're often so much larger. It's like a goddamn luxury cubicle in there, except everything's against the far wall, so it's not. When they put the light switch, and it's one of the ones that hangs from a ceiling next to a goddamn pull alarm.
Yes.
And you're like, I'm going in the dark. I'm not summoning the school to my location because I want a piss. That's goddamn awful.
Yeah. To be fair, those are obviously by standard now, I believe, in the UK.
They're meant to be color coded.
This will be interesting because this might not be, if anyone was listening from outside the UK, might not fully understand. But in our disabled toilets in the UK, it's standard to have an alarm. So if someone that goes in there that needs assistance ends up in a situation that they can't recover from themselves, you can just pull the alarm and it'll let someone know. Whether that just be a member of the public walking past, if it's public toilet, or if it is in a school, it normally or like a supermarket or something, it will like let like a desk know or whatever.
Yeah.
But I believe the standard is that that cable is now orange and has the triangle handle at the bottom, or the cable is white and has the triangle handle at the bottom. Because the triangle is meant to represent like an alert, but I don't think that actually happens all the time. But I believe that is meant to be like the building standard now. Like that has to be how it's done.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, it definitely it's always like a part clenching moment when you pull them without thinking and like, wait, which one did I just pull? I definitely understand that.
It's always like you don't want to make that mistake. Man, I didn't realize they had them in public toilets because I didn't realize it was up to the public. I assume.
Yeah, if you've ever walked past public disabled toilets, you'll notice quite often they have like a light outside that will just be for that alarm.
To be fairly honest, where we live, there's very little public toilets.
Yeah, there's less public toilets all the time, but
I just wouldn't use them.
I will avoid using them as much as possible, to be honest.
yeah, a lot of people I know avoid using public toilets more than I do. I've never found them particularly bad. Okay, let me rephrase that. I have found public toilets pretty bad, but I've never been in a situation where like I wouldn't use them, right? Like,
I absolutely have been. I ain't.
although I suppose that stems from the issue that I can't really, for family genetic reasons that have fucked my over for life, hold anything for that long. So it's pretty much I'm just fucked if I can't take a piss. Once I need to go, I've got like an hour.
Oh, absolutely.
An hour.
Having a wee, I can manage. If I need to do any other business, I'm waiting until I get home, or I'm finding like, or it's it ain't gonna be pretty. Let's put it that way. I ain't gonna try and use some fucking public toilet or school toilet for that. That's awful. That's stuff of nightmares.
Do you get as well that the standard public cubicles can be quite small?
Oh, they're tiny. Though they're better than the fucking
Very
American
unfamiliar.
ones where you have half the door open or like cut off.
Those are horrible.
God, when you
Like,
massive gaps at the top.
The main thing I'll
bottom.
say to anyone that's used a public cubicle in the UK, because obviously I know how American some American cubicles look, but I still wouldn't like have a rough estimate for their width and size. Is that being an overweight person in a public cubicle is horrible because you literally cannot move without like brushing your body against the
Yeah.
cubicle in some of them. And that's right. In a public toilet, that's not,
Fucking
know,
grim.
it's not nice.
No, it never is.
To be fair, I tend to use disabled toilets now, but because Entitled to has like literally everyone in my family is, and I frankly think anyone is, frankly. So.
Yeah, I think they're much better, especially for just general use. You know, they're just better toilets. But again, they are there for.
If you took them for someone that needed them more than you, that would be wrong in my opinion. But just using them when there's no one else there, I don't have a problem with.
Some
people
but then
seem
you
to just
step
like
out and there's someone there who actually needs it, and you're like, oh.
Yeah,
Whoops.
I mean sometimes it happens very rarely though.
Oh, absolutely. But the time it does happen, and it's
when it
I ain't
really
looking
gets
forward to
shit.
that day. That's
Yeah, no, it's better than the fucking one I have at work though, which is literally Shrek's toilet. So
oh, what?
it's
I want
just
to know?
very small and it's outside, so if it's raining, good luck.
Shrek's toilet known for being small?
Yeah, it's
Outside,
tiny, isn't
maybe.
it?
He
I
doesn't have
think what
much
he
room
means
in his
by Shrek's toilet is
Oh,
not
he means
really
the outhouse.
specifically Shrek's toilet, just an outhouse.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Like the one he bursts out from
Yeah,
at the start.
in that
Okay, I
classic
see.
meme.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, there's not like a whole like set of expectations around what Shrek's toilet is like, and its smells and its different features.
That's what I was expecting, was like smells and cleanliness when he said that.
No, the thing is, Shrek can burst out that toilet stupidly fast.
Of course he can. It's like it's not
He
even
doesn't
a
have a lock.
hinge on that door.
That's very
Oh, yeah,
true.
and-
That's very true. He doesn't have a lock, and he can get out of that toilet in seconds. And talking about someone
But I
taking
bet Donkey
seconds,
doesn't lock.
we were talking to someone earlier about who said it takes him a flat 2 minutes to go to the toilet. And this is number 2 if we're talking about politeness.
Sure.
But he thinks that's normal, and that
So, and this full 2 minutes is him going there, doing the deed, washing his hands, and then coming back as well, from what he said.
yeah.
Which is,
I don't think that's normal. At least it's not.
I don't think that's normal.
I don't know.
That's some
Yeah.
good ass fiber he's got, man. Like whatever he's having, I'll have. But
So, man, it's.
I wish I could do that. That would
Yeah,
save me
it's
so much time.
so much time and effort, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. This doesn't seem normal. Actually, I might actually Google this while you two talk about this.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It takes me
Like
on
whether
average
you're Googling
22
it.
minutes.
Like
I've not timed myself, but I know it's more than 10 regularly, or like at least 10 thereabouts.
yeah, I would say on average I'd expect like maybe like sort of 7-8 minutes. Like of the actual time spent in the bathroom.
Yes.
Um, But yeah, no, it's for me it's normally considerably longer than that for reasons that I'm sure Charles will understand.
Yeah. I know.
It was very weird to me when people are particularly fast though. I just want to know what goes on. I need like a documentary, like a David Attenborough documentary on it
No, that's fair.
to explain it to me.
It must just be like, the fridges of the like ice dispensers built in. It must just be like that, man. Just
That's true.
So, according to this article by Geisinger,
Sure.
Right.
you shouldn't take any longer than 10 minutes.
Okay.
Well, I apparently I need to go to the hospital.
Yep. So most professionals recommend spending more time on the toilet than it takes to pass a stool. Studies have shown that the average bowel movement takes 12 seconds. Sometimes
What?
it takes longer. However, at
Sorry,
maximum, you
takes
shouldn't spend more
12
than
seconds?
10 minutes.
Sorry, did you just say it takes 12 seconds?
Yeah, according to professionals.
What the hell?
I mean, like it depends on what it means by bowel movement, like the
Yeah.
whole thing or just like one movement. Like I don't know what the technical
don't
medical
know.
definition of that would be.
Gotta be. That's some fucking like dream level speed run right there. Holy
Oh,
hell.
this is a
Dream speedrun.
quality article. Why do men take so long to poop?
Why do we? Come on, Charles. Let me know. And I
Maybe,
don't touch my
actually,
phone
yeah,
in the
maybe that's
bathroom. I don't touch my phone. I don't. I go to the bathroom to go to the bathroom. That's what I don't do anything in there.
I mean, yeah, but like I would note that I'm not including like if I was to read like a paper in the bathroom into this calculation, right?
We're just
Like
reading
I
your
quite
own
often
time.
do
Like, I said,
because
you know what I
In
mean?
your own time.
well, I quite
That is
often
your
do
own
because regardless of whether I have my phone there or not, I'm going to be there like sometimes like straight like I've been in there for over an hour before. Right, and at that point, it's like it's very boring. So like, yeah, I'll bring my phone, just stick a podcast on, and something like that, you know.
Good lord.
Oh, okay. Wait a second.
Oh, okay. Charlie's
So-
discovered something about.
No, I think what it means by. No, what? Okay. I thought I was just misreading
He's
it.
not
So what I
discovered anything.
thought is what this 12 seconds was is how long it should take you to poop, not in like the whole process.
Yeah.
But so I'm just going to read this whole paragraph. As long as you're really just in there to hang out, wait there.
What?
What the fuck? Okay, never mind. If it's taking you a while to actually factualize, that's an interesting way according to the study. So according to the study from Soft Matter and highlighted by the New Scientist, the average mammal,
Soft matter. Right.
regardless of size, takes 12 seconds to poop.
The hell.
So what the actual
like,
fuck?
We've all seen like horses and dogs and things, and I guess they do get it. Now that I think about it, pretty quickly.
I mean, yeah, but again, it depends what that means. Like, because that's
Yeah,
not the whole
still.
process. That's once you sit down, how long for like bombs to be dropping, right? Like, it's not that long, unless you have like some horrific like case of like diarrhea or constipation or something. But on a normal day, I wouldn't necessarily say I meet 12 seconds, but it's not like years.
What did we title this? Did we title it the shittiest episode yet?
That would have been good.
Oh, that'd be good.
That's right. We
Like,
could
do
change
that on
it in
YouTube, yeah.
post.
Yeah,
Change
lovely,
it in
lovely.
post.
Sorted. I mean, yeah, we
Beautiful.
came up with a good title for this one, didn't we, guys?
Oh man, what a
Beautiful title.
title it was.
Man. But yeah, that surprised me. It's
that seems-
consistently 12 seconds on different articles, so
Well, I presume it makes
Wow.
sense because that's basically like the law of energy conservation, really, isn't it? Because
that's too many
As-
science words. What?
as a mammal, like let's take like a mouse, right? For its size, it has to eat X amount of food to get X amount of joules of energy, right? Which means it's going to produce X amount of waste, which means due to the amount of size it will have to dedicate in its body to a waste tract, and then to get it out, it's going to take 12 seconds, let's say, right? But then once you get up to like a beaver, I know I'm picking such random animals, but I am, right? You get to larger mammals, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be using more energy, proportionate to its size. It's going to have to take more space proportionate to its size. So it's probably going to take about the same time. And it goes all the way up the scale, because ultimately it's basically the same ratio of the body, because you're going to be having the same ratio of energy required, roughly.
No, that's
You know?
fair. I could definitely understand that, yeah.
Mammals are weirdly consistent. Like, isn't there a thing where a lot of mammals have like 7 neck bones as well? Like mammals are weirdly
I
consistent.
mean, but
I
that's
quite
just like
it.
evolutionary, I'd imagine, mostly, though.
Oh, absolutely, but it's still awesome. We're like,
It's like chickens
linked
or
together
dinosaurs.
so well. Well, it's not. Maybe in nugget form. certain.
No, that's
people might
turkey. Get it
enjoy.
right.
You get chicken ones as
Chicken.
well.
Do you?
Yeah.
Why is that such a surprise?
We put chickens into drumstick shapes and wing
Literally
shapes
chicken
and
nuggets.
nugget shapes and dipper shapes, but dinosaurs?
God
That's
forbid.
absurd.
Because that's a turkey
Not
shape.
chickens.
Man,
Why don't we put chickens into turkeys? Have chicken turkeys to really confuse everyone.
that's one thing
Turkeys.
though. It keeps amazing. I knew this, but I just got reminded it not too long ago. Is how dodos, they only went can someone say the word,
This
please?
can be a Clipit moment.
In the, was it like mid 1800s?
I didn't even finish it. Yeah.
So like that's one animal that we're never ever gonna see. But I would love to. Like it's Aren't dodos like a dinosaur? This is where it comes. When did they go extinct? Extinct. There we go.
Oh my god, you got this. Oh.
See, guys, this is what it's like.
What sort of conversation did he just have? Like, with himself? It was 3 different things.
Basically, dodos are one of those.
I know what a dodo is.
A dodo is an example of an animal that went extinct quite recently in time when it comes to extinction, I guess. Like,
I don't think it's...
Okay.
No.
Okay, name an animal that we've seen that's gone extinct completely.
Oh,
I don't know the ones that I've seen, but that's honestly just mostly because I couldn't tell you like the specific species of an animal I've seen like across my. I've seen a lot of animals.
Species that have gone extinct by year. Here we go.
What really set that off is the dodos are definitely one of the more famous examples of a extinct species of animal. I think mostly just because they look kind of funny and shit. But like, yeah. It's just the way you brought up their extinction. Overestimated when it happened by 2 centuries. And then was like, so we're never going to see one of those. As if at any point in our lives we'd had a hope of
and
possibly
then
seeing a
suggested
dodo.
that they were dinosaurs. That was so
You are beautiful, Charles. Don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise.
When did they go extinct?
Oh, we started
1662.
I was 2
That was
decades
the last
off.
noted sighting of a dodo.
Oh yeah, the western black rhino. That was...
Yeah, we've
recent.
had plenty of animals go extinct.
Yeah, but there's
in our
plenty
lifetime.
There's plenty of rhinos around still, so we know what they look like.
There's
but
plenty
there's
of
not
birds
plenty of
around.
them.
Like,
None of them look like dodos.
I'm sure there's dodo lookalikes.
Actually, I have you know that the Nicobar pigeon looks pretty like a dodo because it's his closest living relative.
The what?
Nicobar, Nicobar pigeon.
No, I've just never heard of that
Let's have-
before.
Well, I imagine not, no.
Oh,
Mostly found
God,
on
look
the
at those
Andaman and Nicobar
feathers.
Islands in India.
wow! Look at those feathers.
Yeah,
That looks
beautiful, isn't it?
nothing like a dodo.
I mean, when you see it side on, I can see the resemblance to like the overall body structure.
No,
My God.
I didn't realize there was many different types of pigeons.
Why
I thought there was
dodos
just. To be
looking
fair, no. Before we get
No,
into
no,
this,
no.
before we get into this, I thought, and this was a legit one. I genuinely thought seagulls were native to the UK and nowhere else in the world.
I can kind of see it. I mean, kind of, I guess. See it.
I mean, if you thought there was only one type of pigeon, I can't blame you for that one.
Yeah.
So, I know someone
Pigeons
who
are epic,
breeds pigeons and races them anyway. Man,
Sure.
in a way.
pigeons are weird animals. I saw one fly into a window once, which was quite amusing.
Oh, poor thing.
It was its own fault, kind of.
I mean, kind of, yeah. They don't really have great eye vision for windows.
Don't most? Never mind. Yeah, don't pigeons sit like 120 frames a second, or like how?
Oh my god.
What? The pigeon I can only see.
What frame rate is your pigeon rated for?
Oh, I'm gonna prove you two wrong.
Well, but if they see it 120 frames per second, I will be surprised.
Having eyes on the side of his head gives it a field of view of 340 degrees, and in order to fly at speed, its brain can process visual information roughly 3 times faster than a human's. Which I immediately dispute the claim of, because having done research into how fast a human, can process visual information.
Yeah, which is
It's
24 frames
very
a second.
varied depending on what you were using your eyes for. And it's quite a complicated question. It's not just a number that humans process. But in general, yeah, I would not be surprised that a bird that is flying at speed probably processes, on average, information faster than a slow-moving mammal does.
Yeah. But I just like, yeah, their eyes aren't particularly tuned for picking up windows.
Yeah, they're
which
not.
is unfortunately why birds fly into them.
It's quite
fairly
amusing.
frequently. Oh my God. Charles's favourite pastime. It's like walking across the street like in a cartoon with a giant glass panel, seeing how many birds he can trick. Good lord.
Mad.
Yeah, you are.
I'm not mad. I'm just mildly insane. which is different. Oh,
You
Christ.
certainly are.
But nah, like, do you? Okay, so this is a question. I think we may have asked it on the podcast before. It kind of relates, but do you ever think we'll be able to get extinct animals back, like to the extreme, like dinosaurs? Do you think we'll ever see a living
Oh
dinosaur?
no, dinosaurs are too far gone. More recently extinct animals, maybe. Dinosaurs are way too far gone,
I
unfortunately.
mean, yeah. What I will say is, I don't think we will see an extinct, like known extinct dinosaur back, brought back Jurassic Park style soon. I would definitely not rule out the possibility of there technically being a living dinosaur species that we have. Dinosaurs in the classification of animal species that still exists somewhere on the planet in some form. I think it's exceptionally unlikely, but it is possible enough that I wouldn't say it
Are we
couldn't
talking
happen.
stuff like megalodons or?
Probably something in the ocean or small insect, I would imagine. Something like
Yeah.
that. I don't know.
Hmm.
I know that all of what we know as dinosaurs weren't necessarily dinosaurs in the animal classification sense anyway. So
Oh, they didn't they?
Yeah, if it lived in water or could fly, that straight away rules them out. Which, well, like, I'm pretty sure pterodactyls aren't technically dinosaurs.
Didn't
I love lording that fact over people. I
Didn't-
really hope it's right.
didn't scientists recently find out that potentially it wasn't an asteroid that took dinosaurs out, but a comet? Which I thought was wow, what amazing news! But they are
What a
different.
distinction.
No,
I mean,
So asteroids tend to be rocky objects that are most of the time in our solar system. Comets tend to come out of from outside of our solar system, and most of the time are made up of large amounts of ice.
I don't know if we can really.
They are
Also,
different.
I don't have much expertise in that. I don't know if I could really.
The reason I
which
got
one did it,
confused over
especially
that.
after all this time.
yeah, so
Why I got confused over this is because I thought they were different. So they're known as different things depending on where they are. Like if they're out in space, they're a comet. When they come into the atmosphere, they're a meteorite. And when it lands, it's got a different name or something like that. I can't remember specifics.
Yeah.
But
as far as I am aware, the standard distinction between them is specifically about the what is called the coma,
Are
the
you kidding me?
atmosphere, right?
mm,
So a asteroid is just like a rock. I believe asteroids by modern standards are classified as planets, in that they are a grouping of mass that has formed together into a rock.
a planetary body.
No, they're just classified as planets,
Oh, okay.
like Sirius, like Eros and all of that.
Yeah.
They're planets. They're just small ones. Like dwarf planets. They're dwarf planets. Asteroids, I believe, are given the classification minor planets, but they're all still planets. Whereas comets, I believe, can still technically be like pretty much a planet classification, but aren't necessarily. Basically, though, they have atmospheres, and they have a tail because they release gases, because they're full of ice, which could be full of different gases. So yeah, that's pretty much the distinction. I believe an asteroid can fly around the universe and come from outside our solar system, although I believe we do have different classifications for that, which I don't know exactly off the top of my head. But so the comet's basically just one that has ice because it has the tail and an atmosphere. So yeah, there is a difference, but not a particularly large one.
I mean, yeah, if it gets one where if something's hurtling towards the Earth, I always say, "Oh my
I don't
God,
think
we're
anybody's
gonna
gonna
get
go.
hit by an asteroid,"
Yeah.
and you say, "Oh, actually, it's a comet." I'm gonna punch you. I mean, I do it anyway because there'd be nothing to lose. But I do something. I do like extra punch.
It all depends on how big it is, and we miss so many.
Oh my
asteroids
God, I
and
swear to God.
comets anyway. But yeah, no, that was something I saw on the side. I was just like, really, are we that dry on news? You're gonna just announce that? Like, does it make that much of
I
a
think it was,
difference?
A number of factors, to be honest. I don't think it was like any one
Yeah.
major event.
Comets-
I suppose that's how things go.
Yeah, it says comets tend to come from the Oort cloud past Pluto, right on the edge of our solar system, because it's colder out there. Whereas asteroids pretty much exclusively live in the asteroid belt, and they just sort of fall out of there occasionally when they bump into each other, and one gets flung out of it, and eventually ends up flying around our solar system, and then eventually possibly hits a planet.
What about Planet
Thank God for the
9?
moon.
The one
Yeah,
that supposedly
probably
has
possibly there.
was it a
Have
20,000
we
year
renamed
orbit?
it from Planet X to Planet 9? Or am
Oh,
I-
okay, Planet X.
Yeah, Pluto has really upgraded in the past week.
Planet
I was about to
X.
say, yeah, poor Pluto.
Pluto
I
doesn't
know
count
you
anyway. Pluto's just
Yes, it does.
no, it doesn't.
Absolutely
It's just a much bigger asteroid.
You're a much
Look.
bigger asteroid. So what?
The whole weird thing
You're a
about
big
everyone.
lump with no atmosphere.
Yeah, the whole weird thing about, in my opinion, about everyone arguing about whether, like the whole meme of like Pluto not being a planet anymore, is that all the classification that was changed is that it was, what's the word, tiered down from a, full-size planet to a dwarf planet. Like, it's still a planet by classification.
Yeah.
It's just a size. It's just that we're noting that it's small. Because it's adorable.
It has
Got
a
little
heart on it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
Deadly,
Planet
deadly heart.
Planet X. Sorry, I keep calling it Planet 9 for fuck's sake. Well, it's
Mm.
apparently got a 20,000-year orbit, so we're not going to see it for who knows.
I mean, we could see it plenty of ways.
We could.
It's just tech, because you can't reflect much off
Okay,
it.
you just cut out
Oh,
mid-sentence
yeah, cut out
there.
right
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think
Alright.
it's just awkward because we don't know exactly where it is necessarily because it's very far away.
Mm.
So to reflect stuff off it in the usual ways that you would to look at, like, surface composition and atmosphere composition and stuff, it's just hard to do because
Yeah.
we don't know where it is. I think I probably like if someone was to ask me, is there a 10th planet? Like, I don't fucking know. I'm not the guy that made the solar system or has a particularly good perspective to observe it. But, like, yeah, it's entirely reasonable. Like, I would not be surprised if there was a 14th planet. Like, because it's not a particularly unreasonable thing to say, right? We have a sun here. We're in a solar system. Gravity exists. It's completely reasonable that there's more planets to be discovered. It's just, if they're far away, they're going to be awkward to see.
There's
And there's,
millions
like, the
in the
whole
Kepler
asteroid
belt.
belts. Yeah, there's, like, whole asteroid belts and shit, comet belts and all this whatever else, out there. There's loads of things.
Yeah.
In our solar system.
And it's, as you said, it's very hard to detect them if you don't know where they are. Because
Damn
space is big and hard and terrifying.
Space is hard.
Yeah, space is hard. Rocks are hard, apparently. But we landed on Mars recently, so that was a hell of an achievement again.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've landed on Mars before.
Though the microphone failed, so the curse of landing on Mars is great.
I was about to ask, has anything gone wrong as it always does?
Yeah, I think the
Yep.
microphone broke on landing.
Oh,
So
what's
they
the-
don't
what
have a
were the
mic
plans
on
for
Mars
the
yet.
Microphone?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Bloody 80-20-20s, honestly.
I know.
What was the plans for the microphone? Epic.
I don't
I
actually
presume
know,
just to record sound.
because we've never had
Oh.
sound from there, like, or at least high quality sound or higher quality sound. Because obviously we've heard it singing to itself, but I assume that was just a reconstruction. I'm guessing.
Yeah. I mean, like, Mars's atmosphere is not known for being exceptionally dense, but I imagine it probably is decent enough to transmit sound. Like, I wouldn't know off the top of my head how good sound does transmit on Mars, but I imagine relatively, like, okay over a short distance.
Oh, never mind. 6 days ago on
Wait, they
NASA's,
fixed it.
yeah, on NASA's website, Perseverance rover provides front row seats to landing, first audio recording on Red Planet.
I was going to say, yeah, it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
So maybe they
Fail.
thought it was broken? Because
Yeah,
I
that's
heard
it,
it was
so-
broken.
Maybe you thought it was broken. I don't know. I didn't hear about this, to be fair.
Mars's atmosphere is 0.006 atmospheres, right, in pressure.
Yeah.
So that probably is a decent enough thing to transmit sound over, like, a small distance.
Yeah, so it'll be...
I'm assuming that's... Okay, I don't know if you guys have heard the sound, but I'm assuming it's it moving. If not, that's a terrifying sound. I'm guessing
yeah, it is.
wind.
Yeah, I don't know what the climate is like on Mars.
Man.
I'll look it up.
No,
I was just curious. I literally just looked up Mars because I was curious if they had launched the helicopter yet.
No, I don't think so. I think that's planned to launch in a couple of months at the
Oh,
soonest,
okay.
or a
We heard
month
on
or-
the stream that it could have been in the next couple of days. That's what I
Oh, okay.
assumed.
Maybe I'm misheard. Maybe it will launch, but the mission for it is planned in a couple
Okay,
of months.
yeah.
I could be. I could
Yeah.
have also just completely misunderstood.
So dust devils are apparently quite common on Mars. Dust
Dust
storms
devils,
are pretty
did you
common.
say?
Little
Yeah.
tornadoes,
Is that
basically.
what they're actually called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has pretty active wind from thermal tides. Um,
Pretty
So
interesting little
all the
planet.
information we've got
also
is
has orographic clouds as well.
it's gonna fly within 30 days of landing,
Oh, okay.
with one or more missions depending if the first one goes right, obviously. Again, I'm just excited to see what sort of pictures we get out of it. That, like, honestly, because we haven't really got any other pictures of Mars, but from the ground.
We don't have enough pictures of any planet,
Yeah,
in my
that's true.
opinion.
Oh, my favourite picture is the one of Titan.
Yeah.
Genuinely a beautiful picture.
I still think that if, like, not to get like hyper political, I just wish that as a collective species we put more of our overall resources into space.
Yeah.
Because there is so much I think we could do should we set a mind to it. Like I was saying this, I can't remember who was in the thing when we were discussing Mars. I mean, I think I mentioned it to you at some point as well, Charles. But I definitely want us to just go and photograph Venus more. Like, I think with the technology we have, we can probably build something able to survive on the surface of Venus for quite a while now, right?
And have the lens cap come off.
Yeah, and all
Wasn't
the other
that 3
issues.
times on Venus?
A
Too
lot of
many.
times.
Once is
And-
once too many.
That's a really cool planet, right? Like not to diss the other planets, but Venus is cool. It's got a cool atmosphere and stuff, right? Like
That
it's
would-
quite different as an experience to any of the other planets, right? Like permanently clouded and all of that.
Yeah.
I think we should totally try and get like some great photos of that thing. Just like get loads of photos of it, especially like
Above
just
the top,
photos over
though.
time. Imagine being able to see like a photo every minute for like 8 hours on the surface or something,
Yeah.
and just watching how it changes. You know, watching the clouds, and that'd be awesome. And we totally have the technology to do that. It's just it would be expensive and not necessarily particularly useful. Like, sure, I imagine you'd be able to collect plenty of data with the sensors and such, but there's not an immediate argument as to why we should go and do it other than just space is cool. But I think space is cool should be a argument
Space
enough.
Yeah. Space is pretty good.
So my favourite thing about this website on the helicopter going to Mars is they have 5 points. My favourite one being 3, which is powerful enough to lift itself off. Well, I hope so, because that's the whole point of a helicopter.
Maybe it's like an auto gyro, so the rover just throws it really hard, and then it glides
Apparently,
around for a bit.
it can fly up to 90 seconds. With a distance, it can fly up to 980 feet, which I think is. I'm trying to think of how much the first rover travelled in total. Wasn't it like 2 kilometers on Mars? Like, the problem with the Mars rovers is just because they have to be very careful with them. Obviously, they can't really travel good amount of distances. They can't really explore much.
Gonna have some cool scouting now, though. So
But it's only going to fly about 10 to 15 feet off the ground. Which, again, don't blame them. They don't want to lose it. Would be quite amusing if we got
goes
footage
over
of
the
it.
neighbour's
I mean,
fence.
as much as like you can go only 10 to 15 feet, I think we need to just give it to flying 10 to 15 feet over the surface of a planet very far away from us. That's pretty impressive.
Oh, yeah.
15 feet is not a small distance.
What I really hope they do, though, is...
I mean,
like,
granted,
if,
you know, the atmosphere and such, but
what I'd love to see them do is if, like, what they should do is on the last mission for the helicopter, or if it's like damaged in a certain way, they just say fuck it and just let it go as high as it can and take as many pictures as they can. Because why not?
I mean, if you
it's
would,
not like they're going to recover it. Oh,
total
maybe.
disposal, yeah.
Actually, this is the
Why
first
not?
mission they're going to try and recover some Mars dirt at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know when, but at some point.
It's a weirdly complex like mechanism they've got for that.
Yeah, how are they doing it again? Is it like how they land it, but just... I
There's
don't
like
know.
one arm that does a bit, then that passes it to another arm, which puts it into a little drum thing, which then filters it around in a certain way, gives it to another arm, which then drops it off for the pick-uppy throw back into space bits. I understand, obviously, these things need to be complicated to an extent, but to me, at least, it's surprisingly complicated for something that's going to be that far away that like we can't fix if something goes wrong with it. But obviously they know what they're doing better than I do, so
I mean, yeah.
I'm really going to question it.
I'm sure that if you were to speak to JPL, they would say that, yeah, there's obviously the system is not as simple as it theoretically could be. There are obviously, therefore, more points of failure, but it was better than the other options, because I imagine JPL mostly know what they're doing.
Well, actually,
Although I still think, and I will always argue, that Japan has the best method of collecting rock samples from anything, which is just shooting them with a gun. Because the fact that Japan has done that to 2 asteroids now is hilarious to me.
Alfie, funnily you're talking about us taking loads of pictures on Venus. The Parker Solar Probe recently took some a couple days ago on its flight past.
And we've got plenty of photos from like outside Venus, like of Venus itself.
I'd
not,
just love
not
to
from
see.
the surface.
Yeah,
though.
I'd love to see like detailed pictures of like the above cloud layer, which is supposedly survivable for humans, or theoretically survivable for humans.
Yay, Venus blimps.
Yeah, great idea. It's not like that could fail, but like, yeah, I don't know. I think Russia was the only one to really get something on the planet which survived like 10 minutes each.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's been ideas since to build more probes that go through. I believe NASA had one a while ago.
It's just lots of
I don't know.
money.
I just think it's one of the more unique planets in our solar system that isn't too far away. Where like I think it would be pretty cool to get like surface photos of Neptune, but probably not happening soon because it's very far away. Like,
I don't think
really,
we
really
could
far.
land on one of those planets at this moment of time.
I think we could, yeah, absolutely we could. I think it would just be
know.
really expensive, and the communication delay and all of that becomes really kind of in the way at that point. It just makes it kind of is it worth the money? Because if something goes wrong, like it just becomes insane, right?
Yeah.
But I think we totally could. Like you just build automated systems that know how to react to different things and can fly themselves down. Like you can totally land on them, in my opinion.
Oh, have you guys seen the panoramic picture from Perseverance?
No, I've not really seen any. Like, I've seen that there have been things, but I've not seen anything.
Obviously, forgive it being oh, it's too big. I'll just send the fucking link. Yeah, it's looking really good. Space is one of those things where it's just fascinating. Also, I didn't realize NASA were working on a fully electric, like not commercial, but like bigger electric plane.
Ooh.
Yeah, cool.
They're doing a high voltage test soon for it.
Oh. I assume they were, but I hadn't heard specifics for it.
It looks cool.
I definitely think that like just more results should go in space. I just want to do space stuff. I don't care, you know. Just throw shit at planets, bro.
For fuck's sake, what's that?
That is a proposed NASA mock-up for a Venus lander. Look at it, it's wind-powered.
I fucking
Adorable.
hate it.
No, look at its little wheels. Like, you can't have
No.
proper wheels. So it's like springs.
So I'm just trying
To
to
be
look
fair,
into
it's a
when-
pretty cool mock-up.
So
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's just exploring the planets, especially the ones that are more unique in terms of their atmosphere or their surface, right? Than what we've already explored. Because mostly what we've explored is, other than Earth, I guess, is just low atmosphere to no atmosphere rocky bodies, right?
yeah,
Like, let's go to some ice bodies. Let's go to some like really gaseous atmospheres. Like, let's go do some cool stuff.
I think Titan was probably the Titan is the furthest one we've done. It's the furthest picture we've got from Earth.
Is it?
Yes. So no, furthest picture from a planet or a moon or from Earth.
Yeah, that I'll accept.
Okay. Because yes, we've got pictures from a lot
The
further. We've fucking
furthest
got
picture
Pluto.
we've got from Earth is we've got further than that.
I don't know if any of the Keplers had cameras on them. I don't think so. No, they did, yeah, because Kepler took some pictures of or at least Kepler 2 took some pictures from Jupiter. So I'm just
I know.
looking into
Venus
this.
is a good option because it's pretty close, like in the relative scale of
Yeah.
the solar system.
Yeah. Actually, I wonder what we'll have. We seem to have been born into a fairly decent time for space exploration, at least in theory.
Or at least the
Things
start of
don't
it.
Yeah,
heat
theoretically.
up.
I think it's a shame that it took until late, like teenagers, you know, early adult section of my life for stuff to really start picking up.
Yeah.
Like I've been enjoying a lot of what NASA's been up to lately, a lot of what SpaceX has been up to. You know, stuff is moving faster now for sure. But at the same time, it doesn't. There's no way you can't say that a part of me is disappointed at it being born, getting to the understanding of comprehending words. My parents say, "Do you know that we landed on the moon?" I was like, oh, "Cool." And then "Did you know that we've done absolutely fucking shit all since?" And I was like, "Oh, okay."
So
It's just kind of sad. We could have done so much at the time if we just really focused on it.
So currently, I've just reading about the helicopter. Apparently, it has 6 lithium-ion batteries that are off the shelf. Don't know what they mean by that, but I doubt they just went to a hobby store and went, "Can I have 6?"
No.
lithium-ion batteries?"
JPL spoke about this in the presentation, in that it's the first anything that NASA has made, or any part of NASA has made, that is entirely open source and entirely buyable from off-the-shelf parts. You could make that exact helicopter and get its software, because it's literally on github.com/NASA/fprime. You can literally just get its software and just install it. It's a really cool piece of kit from that perspective.
Secondly, apparently the rover's just going to drop the helicopter off and just leave it for a few days to see if it will survive the Martian weather and nights. That's just like leaving your dog outside just to see if it will survive a few nights.
Oh yeah, Darwinism, isn't it? Survival of the fittest.
So yeah, within its 30-day Martian, it's gonna have. So it's got a 30 Martian day experimental flight time. So it's gonna do its test within that time if it can survive the nights, the chilly nights, and the hot mornings. So hopefully that goes well.
Yeah, it's like it's pretty much an average summer here in England, isn't it?
I'm very interested to see what else. I'm just interested to see how they if they are able to get resources back, and how much as well.
Yeah, how much we learn from it, I don't know.
Because we've got shit tons from the moon, but none from any other planet.
You say that we've got some. It's not really like
we've got quite a lot from the moon.
Great amount.
I'd say it's enough.
I don't know. Maybe it's enough. I wouldn't say it's a massive deal. I want to be that NASA dude who took space rocks home to go to bed on them, shall we say?
I'm interested to see what because there's a lot, like, as much as we talk about space, we have better maps of the moon than we have with our oceans, don't we? So, well, then again, it's easier to map something that's quite obviously just right there than something you can't really see. So yeah, we've got so much in the oceans. For all we know, the Megalodon could be real. For all we know, the Kraken could be real. You never know.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know.
It could be.
I don't know.
I mean, it's possible. I'd say that we have a limited knowledge of the ocean.
It's limited enough where I hate the ocean. Because you just can't see past like 10 meters, or depending on the ocean, obviously. But like our ocean's terrifying.
Yeah, I don't personally find the ocean particularly inviting, in my opinion. I think that it's I don't know. It's that, like you say, it's that general knowledge of the unknown, right?
Mm. That's why a lot of people are scared of space, which understandable. Anyway, should we talk about some gaming news?
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
I just saw something about Nvidia are now getting a 10% performance boost on their 30 series cards. All I want to say about that is they've just done that.
Okay, perhaps I
interesting.
misheard you. Could you say that one again?
Nvidia starts boosting frame rates by 10% on 30 series cards.
For some reason, I thought you said AMD at first. Sorry, that's just me going weird. Oh, okay. So what have they?
I'm assuming this is.
How consistent is this 10%? All right.
So, a feature of PCI Express that can boost frame rates in a certain game up to 10%. Okay, interesting. So it's something called resizable bar, which is, I'm guessing, a new feature from them.
That's basically the smart access memory that AMD released with. I don't know how good it is compared to AMD's. Oh, wait, am I right in saying this technology only applies to the 3060 at the moment? Or
I haven't seen anything that says that.
okay.
Oh wait,
The Nvidia article
yeah,
just
no, it's
says
the first
RTX
one.
30 series.
It says the 3060 is the first one to
Okay.
include resizable bar, but it probably
Yeah,
will come
they're
to other
working
ones.
on it.
Oh, and RTX 30 series laptops.
Yeah, I don't care. Focus on the like quick loading where you can do stuff off the video RAM. That's what I want.
Again, we've
than-
spoken about this in previous
That'll be
podcasts. Loading
I know they
times
are
is
working on
probably
it.
going to be the next thing, especially before the consoles came out. That was probably going to be a big selling point. Is how fast can your console load a game?
I'm not against any sort of optimization that you can do at a software or hardware level to improve latency and access between different memory storage and processing chips in a computer system. Obviously, like, they're overall quite complicated. One thing I definitely think we could do more of is just more integration. If we could get computing, like standard desktop computers, to the point where on your motherboard, for example, right, you could have a bunch of RAM slots and then a bunch of more memory slots that were, linked straight over to your GPU, right? And we had provided PC was fast enough to allow that interfacing. Like what not even this lesson that would be doable now with current standards, right? But in the future, if we could develop some sort of interface like that, that'd be pretty cool. And having people have that flexibility to just sort of do stuff, because like with a GPU, right, it's kind of a shame that you can't upgrade the VRAM, because a lot of low-end GPUs, honestly, some of their biggest limits is VRAM.
Wow. Funny you should say it. I'm trying to remember. I might have seen it. It's gonna sound awful if I did see it on another channel where someone modified. I think it was either a 20 or a 30 series card by giving it more VRAM. I believe it was like the same modules and everything from Samsung that they somehow obtained, and they showed that obviously there was a problem with drivers, but it could, under certain situations, give them increased performance, which I thought was pretty cool. And it's a lot of work to add in your own VRAM at the moment, because obviously you're not meant to be able to. And it's
You
not
have
fully
like solder it
supported.
manually, I imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like a complicated job I don't want to do.
I don't want to do that. I'm not confident enough with.
I don't actually think it would be that complicated, because from my understand of memory at a architecture level, all you need to do is solder them in the correct sequence electronically, and then you just refer to them with like the further addresses. But obviously that would be limited in drivers, and you would have the software problem to then make that actually doable on that exact card. But yeah, it's just certainly still not easy. I don't think it would also be like hugely complicated though, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have to change
I'll
much
see
other than the
quickly,
soldering.
actually, if I can.
Oh shit! What?
on it.
Sorry, chat. Also,
What is
I
it?
would just like to say something. I'm kind of changing topic, but I just learned about this and it really did confuse me. So, I've just found out that Razer have released. I don't know how old this is, but they've released a new camera. Their old one was the Cairo.
Yeah, that's the one with the ring light on it. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
They've released a new one called the Cairo Pro. This is one thing they advertise. They've got a wide-angle lens with different FOV. I don't know if that's a physical lens change or if it's software-based.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
But one of the things that really upsets, it's a question about this which I want to ask you guys. We can go on to this after about the if you want to talk about the RTX thing first. But
No, I carry on.
This camera is around. I think I saw someone say it's around $200.
Right.
For a webcam, which has support for HDR at 30 FPS. Now, in my opinion, there's no need for a webcam to have HDR, especially if you're limiting that to 30 FPS. I genuinely don't see that point. Also, for $200, I feel like that's a little underrated. And also, it's uncompressed 1080p at 60 for a $200 webcam.
Ooh. It's
That doesn't have a ring light.
Razer, I suppose. Yeah, the only reason I reacted like that was because I saw the pictures of I don't know, I think it's an influencer they were using to like advertise it, as seen in the pictures you've sent here to us on Twitter. I have no clue why I did. And I didn't even realize it was their new camera, to be honest with you, because it just looks so, at least in these pictures, standard for a webcam.
Yeah,
Like,
it's so
I really thought they'd
standard.
try and pick it up a bit more with like COVID and things, and just how everything's been. More people using cams.
I
There's
just don't see the point of
link there.
doing a camera with HDR.
Oh no, absolutely.
That a webcam, a camera, fine. You know,
Yeah.
if you're doing photography, if you're doing film, HDR is great. Webcam, genuinely don't see a need for it. Honestly, surprises me they haven't used that money and technology to go for a higher resolution. I can understand why they might not want to. 1080p is really the limit you're going to do when you're streaming. And for a webcam, you're not really going to do anything other than that, unless you're doing stuff like Zoom calls, meetings, and all that. But for $200, I feel that's a little bit high for what you're limited with.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
USB 3 as well, so you know it seems like it has such a higher potential, but they just didn't. So
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I really thought, like, I've thought for a while now, webcams are so far behind technologically. Like,
yeah.
from what tech we've got, like even in laptops and things, they are
Or
awful.
phones. Look at phones. Their cameras
yeah.
are tiny.
And they're pretty decent. But it's just a weird area of the market. I really thought with people working from home, being on Zoom calls and Teams meetings or whatever, that they'd really invest into that. But they haven't.
I don't know if it's just because we're in a point where a lot of people are trying to get cheap
Wait a minute.
webcams at the moment because they need to obviously school and meetings at work. So maybe people are just trying to make more affordable ones, but still, that just upsets me. Razer have made a webcam that's $200, the price of the camera I bought, this camera right here, and it's not even, it's got nothing other than HDR, and that's it, and adjustable FOV. You can spend $200 on this card, this camera, and if you want to spend a bit more, you can get something like a capture card to make it work. And then you have the accessibility to use different lenses. You can customize it software-wise.
That'd be awesome.
Genuinely, you've got a better sensor, bigger sensor. Obviously, the sensor in my camera is about the same size as your average USB webcam. To be completely honest, it's I want to say it's about 5 centimeters by 5 centimeters. I think about an inch by an inch. So. Yeah, like genuinely, it's just I don't understand what they're doing. I know they're a brand that, you know, hey, we're going to spend money. Like, if you want to spend money, you're going to get shitty products, just with a name on it. But man, that just surprised me. I saw it on another review and I was like, that can't be real. Oh Christ.
Yeah, the Pro model, it just doesn't seem. There's just so much not even necessarily wrong. There's so much standard and unnecessary with it. I think it's the problem.
To be fairly honest, I am talking about a company that made a microphone that's all right, and then proceeded to make a microphone that you can display emotes on.
Oh.
Have you not seen this?
Possibly a little bit vaguely. I can't remember specifics, but you saying that.
So it's the Razer Siren emote, which is literally just the normal Razer Siren, but it just has a little like few USB. It just has LEDs in it, so it can display emotes.
I mean,
honestly, like if you're gonna pay $170 for a microphone, do you really want to add emote functionality to it? What are they doing?
Probably wouldn't.
That surprises me. It surprises me, man.
Clearly got some good marketing going on there.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, good point. I didn't. Wow, that was a good find. I love how in that picture you sent it just says activate Windows.
Yeah, I love that as well. All of their pictures.
That's phenomenal. Is that? Oh my god! Is Razer not paying for Windows?
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I
They
just
could
saw
have just
that.
like not included that or done one of the many things that I wouldn't necessarily condone on a stream, but can be done
Ah.
and is done frequently. But no, they're just.
I've got other gaming news which I didn't know about.
They could
Do
have just
apologise if you've heard of it.
duplicated the display. There's so much they could have just done. But
Yeah. Other news.
mm.
I was unaware of this. Apparently, HP are buying HyperX for $425 million.
Yeah, they are.
It's a lot of
Apparently,
money.
with the intention to place their name branding on their products as well, separate to their RAM business, RAM and SSD business, I believe. So you'll still have like HyperX SSDs, but like all your like HyperX peripherals, like the mice and keyboards and whatever else they do,
Yeah.
supposedly going to be HP HyperX, I guess now.
Ugh.
Like
I'd
whatever
have
they
just kept
choose to go
it
about it.
HyperX. Like,
So
I
apparently Kingston
Don't
will,
understand.
Kingston will retain their DRAM, flash, and SSD products for gaming and enthusiasts.
Mm.
But yeah, what you're saying is it's just get their name on it more or less.
I don't get what the need is if you're a big company like HP to buy out another company and administer your branding to it, right?
Mm.
You've just bought a company. HyperX is going to make you money, right? Like I don't doubt that. Or Kingston, which one of their brands is HyperX, is going to make you money, right? Do you really need to change that it says HyperX? Like it's just not relevant. It just it just stay exactly as it is. Now you just make money from it. Like fair enough. You made a business decision.
It seems weird to me as well because I know it's such a it sounds weird, but when I think of the name HyperX, I don't think I have any of their products here. But, I bet okay, that's pretty cool. It sounds like it's designed for gaming. When I think of HP though, I think sort of like of a sensible laptop.
Do you know what I think of?
I wouldn't use I wouldn't want a HP gaming mouse. Just purely from a branding side of things.
When I hear HP, I just think of shit customer support.
Oh, that sounds like a story. What happened?
No, I'm just Linus Tech Tips. They weren't the best.
Oh, I'd forgotten which which companies were which, apart from Dell, to be honest.
Oh,
I
Dell
wouldn't
with.
remember.
I don't know how they're
You can't
so
forget
bad
Dell.
consistently.
I don't know.
Oh man, that's just ridiculous. Apparently, Sony's bringing back Twisted Metal as a TV show. I think that would genuinely make a good TV show. Yeah, I think that would make a good TV show if they get it right. Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's certainly not something I would have expected.
That's true. Yeah. No, they're doing a lot, Sony, when it comes to TV, because they've got The Last of Us. They've got, I know this is not TV, but they've got The Last of Us
series. Why am I surprised?
Then they've got the new Uncharted, film. Now Twisted Metal, supposedly.
Right.
Imagine Crash Bandicoot as a kids show.
That one I could kind of see actually.
Yeah.
I could kind of see that as like a Saturday morning cartoon.
So, yeah, man, there's a lot of weird stuff coming in my articles right here. We got the new the new updated reveal of the new Halo Infinite, not Infinite, new Halo. Is it Infinite?
Yeah, Halo Infinite.
Okay, yeah,
with some yeah, it's just screenshots. And to be fair, it looks pretty alright.
Much better than it was.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how things work because it's meant to be like a more open worldy design. I'm still interested to see how that works. I could see how it would work on a mission basis, but more I think it was like co-op I was thinking about is going to be a bit more interesting, but we'll see.
I keep getting this article saying that the Elite Dangerous Odyssey update will never leave you without a gun, which is very interesting in my opinion.
I mean, I can't wait to pull out like a handgun and like pop open the canopy on my Anaconda and start blasting.
Oh, interesting. So I've just seen an article here showing some maybe potential teaser screenshots of the new cloud system in DCS World.
Oh yeah, that's meant to be releasing in March. I think late March. I am excited for that.
Have you seen the screenshot?
I think so, but
that's the one they're showing, which it just looks unreal how well that looks in an early state. So
Where it's going to be like dynamic based on like altitude and precipitation and it's how I'd have expected TCS to go about something. When they do something, they go through it. They don't do it in halves.
no, 100%.
Cannot wait.
And I think that's really it. Apart from this was something that surprised me. Deep Rock Galactic outlines 2021 plans, with massive update coming out soon.
Yeah, they've got big plans and they've done some big updates lately with more to come.
Yeah, no, I'm glad of how well that's doing. I remember getting that game before it was even out. I won a key from someone, a small YouTuber called Paraplays. Goes by Skull and Birds now.
Gosh.
Yeah, that was it was a fun game. I wish I actually bought it back then. I pre-ordered it. So, wait, what? Stardew Valley is now a cooperative board game?
Oh, well,
I didn't realize they
don't
made
know
the
if I
board game. I
want
heard
to.
they may have.
I didn't even hear about a board game, and I'm not sure I wanted to.
So that's
fair enough, I guess.
SNES hacker speeds up game that originally ran at 4 FPS. Thanks, I guess.
Don't do that. Don't. It won't work.
So,
what do you think, Charles, about the additions to War Thunder? The
Wait, this
South
was
African
announced?
line and the British tree.
okay, so the South African line, perfect. It's nice to have new tanks. I'm a little confused on why. Personally,
I personally, when I first heard about it, it might have just been the context I read it in. I thought it was a new tree rather than a new line, which got me excited.
Okay, yeah.
I was a bit disappointed to find out it was a line. I'm excited to see another new type of vehicle, though, like that sort of wheeled frame that they use for everything. Though I'm not sure they're going to be particularly effective, but they might be. I'm excited that we're getting more stuff. I just wish it was like in a new tree rather than a new line. And obviously, it'd be better if it was then fleshed out more.
Yeah, no, it surprises me, but then again, it's nice to have more tanks in the game in general. Sorry, no, more vehicles. I do apologise. More vehicles in general. So
Absolutely.
and I just saw this was a couple days old, but the Sony announcing next gen VR headset for PS5, which I'm actually excited about. Again, just bringing.
Do we have any specs for it, or
not at the moment?
Okay.
But they say it won't be launching in 2021. I can understand that. But I'm just hoping it's again like a next step. If they, I don't know, I feel like they're probably going to go along with what they did with the old headset by doing light tracking or contrast tracking, which works to a point. Obviously, if you're in a bright room or if you've got bright lights, it's going to throw off the tracking a little bit, and in general, it's not the best way to track single objects. But I think still, if they can make it affordable, but also good for a console, I think that's still gonna be a step forward, because I think the consoles is where amateurs start getting into gaming, and it's always a great place to jump off to, and jump from. So it depends. It would be really cool. Imagine if they made a PC that's compatible between two different like PC and all that. So.
What?
You two okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. So I'm just trying to keep an eye on things. Something just happened. Sorry.
So I saw Fortnite is constantly having crossovers, and they're gonna next have a Batman series, which interesting. Wait, what's this article?
Oh god.
Apparently, the one German retailer already has the new Intel Rocket Lake i7 up for sale.
Ooh, how much?
I'm just looking into this. It's the i7 11700K. I'm just looking for prices. It's got a base clock of 5 gigahertz.
Yeah, their next gens have been like really mixed from what I've seen from reviews and leaks.
Okay, so it seems like they may have taken that down because there's no pricing for it at the moment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it sounds about.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Makes sense.
Yeah, it's not too surprising.
From what I remember, it's got. I can't remember, man. Because the problem is there's like these. I'm getting my CPUs mixed up here. From what I remember, they're faster in single core performance, so I think they're going to have the gaming crown back for a short while. But you get less cores, and I think potentially less multi-core. I don't know. Oh, and power. They are so power hungry. That was the thing. One of their negatives. Let me see if I can find out how
Okay,
much.
so the price. Sorry, I do apologize. The price was a placeholder.
Oh, okay.
And it was around €560. For context, the 10700K was €380. So,
Find.
apparently it's. That's okay.
Oh, just because I've seen a few links. I think it was specifically from a couple of Chinese channels, which is making it hard to track down. I remember the TDP was insane on those things, which is why I really want to find it. I've got an idea of where to source it from, but I'm going to take a minute finding it.
So what
Oh, that would be
surprises
cool.
me? Oh, sorry. What surprises me is apparently this is the yeah, I am reading that right. Apparently, this is the first Intel CPU to support PCIe 4.0 SSDs and GPUs. For context,
Right.
I have a Ryzen 7 3700, and that supports
Yeah,
PCIe
Ryzen
4.0.
like AMD have been supporting PCI 4 for a long time. I do not.
Yeah.
I
It doesn't
cannot
make much
verify
of a
that is
difference, but-
strictly true. I'm pretty sure some of Intel's server tech has been on PCI 4 for a while now, but I wouldn't be surprised if maybe the first major consumer or whatever. I don't know. There's probably some way you could argue that. I'm pretty sure Intel has had PCI 4 capable CPUs for a while. Just they're not their major SKUs, whereas AMD puts something on their SKUs. But it's the same way that AMD's non-unlocked CPUs do allow you to overclock them. The same way that AMD's non-unlocked CPUs do, or locked CPUs, I guess would be an easy way of wording that, do allow you to do all sorts of stuff,
Yeah.
all sorts of stuff with the technology and do weird configurations and allow you to run ECC RAM and all of these things that Intel decides to lock off purely because they want to make you buy a different product, even though it is technologically more than capable of doing it. Which is obviously a policy difference between the two companies that is pretty noticeable.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons that I personally would go AMD if I was to buy a system today.
Ow.
But I also don't necessarily personally need the utmost top tier and single threaded performance. It's not really what I care about PC performance wise.
No, that's fair.
I don't do particularly I don't often do particularly multi-threaded workloads either. Right? Although I might be I might at some point. It's definitely something I could end up doing. But I tend to just do a lot of stuff on my PC, and if I have the ability to just spread that across different Numa nodes, then that's why not.
Words that everybody understands.
Yep.
No, I'm very happy to be AMD at the moment. Like it was kind of like one of those should you not back in the day, but
you'd be glad that you did now. I'm glad that you did.
yeah, I'm glad. I definitely.
I'd hate for you to be on like a i5 that just doesn't have that multi-core performance now. You know, like even if it performed in games fine, like it would just be a shame.
Is this a little bit of South shouldn't have bought that CPU out?
I've never owned an i5 in my life, love.
Oh, okay, what do you have now?
i7 7700K,
Okay.
which I also regret buying. It's a terrible CPU.
Wasn't
Don't
wasn't that
recommend to
7
anyone.
series like really not 7 series like but the 7000 series like just underperforming?
The 7700K was like the CPU, like for a while, like the Intel CPU. But like by today's standards, it was like the Intel CPU right before the entire CPU market had that boom, with like Intel bringing out the i9s and the 10 whatever 100Ks and AMD bringing out its Ryzen generations, and so that whole like the whole CPU market evolved quite a lot in that couple years, whenever that was specifically. And yeah, like just the time that I bought my CPU and everything, its performance just doesn't hold up now.
Fair.
No, I think we're beaten by even some of the cheaper Ryzens when I looked last. Which
Yeah,
Jesus
it's I
Christ.
know. And the thing is, I feel it.
Feels bad,
That's the biggest thing. Right? You can look at numbers all you like. You know, what FPS does it get in this game? What score does it get in Cinebench? Like you can look at all these numbers. But what annoys me most about my CPU is that I feel it. I feel it struggling when I have multiple programs running in the background. I feel it the time it takes to open stuff. I feel my performance degrade in games because I'm deciding to run Chrome and watch a couple videos in the background. And that's just sad. Because like when I know that AMD CPUs, and again that partly that does come down to multi-threaded performance. But like when I know that AMD CPUs can just do that better, just like off the bat for like less than I paid when I bought my CPU. Which, granted, I wouldn't pay the price I bought my CPU for now, because obviously I bought it years and years ago, but it's still just like, it's just sad. Screw Intel.
That's fair.
AMD fanboy here.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they just seem to be overall better. Though,
Although nothing to do with performance, I just entirely hate the policy and ethics of Intel as a company. They're fucking atrocious in comparison to AMD.
I would like to point out, I am running the wrong motherboard. I'm running the wrong socket set for my GPU. This is one other thing that's great about AMD.
You're not running the wrong socket.
Yeah,
You're running the wrong
you're absolutely...
chipset. No, okay. No, you're not even running the wrong chipset. You're just running a lower end chipset
Yeah,
your CPU
this is
can
the
run
one
on.
thing about AMD is you can more or less use the lowest chipset possible with more or less all of their line, apart from the newest one they brought out, which is wonderful.
All of those CPUs are technologically compatible with it, and while they might not be optimized for it, you might get better performance on a better chipset. It is technologically compatible, so why not? The same way most of Intel's chipsets are technologically compatible. They just don't let you do it.
They just
Like,
say
all
no,
of
fuck
Intel's
off.
chipsets since about 2008 is the same chipset, just slightly upgraded, but they still restrict it. And Intel even has a history of deliberately changing socket designs for no reason, for no actual technologically needed reason, just again to further limit CPU. Again, Intel's ethics and policy as a company suck. They like software restrict CPUs. They hardware restrict CPUs. They don't allow the user flexibility over their own products. Like they just do shit like that. And then AMD's just like, yeah, if you want to overclock your shitty CPU or run ACC RAM on it that cost you 100 quid, why not? Fuck it.
Anyway, I still need to upgrade my my motherboard. There we go. Just to get the full performance out of it,
or what I was going to say earlier, is that speaking about what we were speaking about earlier with like a more open, more flexible architecture for modern desktop PCs, it would be really damn cool if we split CPUs up into multi-threaded and single-threaded performance, and you had you could have two CPUs on a motherboard.
Yeah.
Or like whatever they would be called equivalents, right? Because like that is probably possible and doable, and it'd be pretty nice if we could have like a situation where you could have like, say, at that point, HP has actually taken off from owning HyperX and gone massively into the semiconductor industry, and managed to make an excellent CPU product for single-threaded performance. You know, you can have like an HP single-threaded CPU and an AMD multi-threaded CPU, and actually like own different technologies like that and have it all just work. Like that'd be great.
No,
I think it's unlikely
fair.
to happen soon, but it's theoretically possible, and it would be cool.
No, that's fair.
To be fair, things like RISC-V might, help with that. Like RISC is a decent architecture. They could probably open that up, and I know RISC and stuff and the potential of that actually being used on Windows is getting bigger. I know that obviously ARM has been taking off, and the likelihood of ARM becoming a major competitor in the architecture market has really been pushed with Apple's decision to actually start running ARM, which will definitely help development for it. So it's possible we could all be running ARM down the future, which would be cool.
That would be decent.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know what's happening.
Yeah.
We're coming up to 2 hours.
I've been thinking about it. I opened the tab a few minutes ago. I saw 156.48, and I thought, got 4 minutes.
So, the only last things you guys would like to say?
Oh God, I had a topic I wanted to discuss, and I couldn't remember it until this second.
And what's that?
Well, we're discussing anyway. I don't even care. Screw the end of the podcast.
Damn.
What is your guys' opinions on minimum latency in esports situations? So this has been a controversial thing in Overwatch League, right?
You're gonna have to explain this.
Yeah, I'm going to explain what that means, because you might not necessarily know. I believe the technology, or the idea behind the technology definitely has existed in other esports, but I don't think it's ever been used by like any major tournaments. Because people would be like, but that's not competitive, right? Obviously, COVID has obviously made that a lot more complicated. So basically, right, here's the situation with what happened last year with the Overwatch League. It started up, it was going to be homestands. They were going to be physically moving to different cities across the world. And you'd have the stage, and the teams that were there were going to play at that particular event would obviously all ship off there. They'd have a little bit to settle in. They'd get to play at the event physically on LAN, minimal latency because it's on LAN, and then ship off to wherever they were going next. Or if they weren't in that event, they wouldn't be going there, obviously. And that was how it was going to work. But obviously then COVID hit, and it all sort of fell apart, and the league took a break for a bit, and then sort of got itself back on its feet. One of the problems is that when COVID hit, obviously some players wanted to be with their family, right? a lot of these players are Korean or European and in America, right? And obviously you can understand, or Chinese, some of them as well, especially this year. China's had some great players come into the scene. Like you understand why people might want to have gone home or been with their family in that time. So a few people went back, and then the problem was that you have a team where half their players are in LA and half their players are in Korea, right? And now they're playing on servers. So, what does Overwatch do about that? Well, they do their best. They put them on like a Florida server, right? So it's like, whatever. I don't know if they use Florida. That's a stupid example. That's the wrong way. But whatever. They put them on whatever server. This is a random example. To try and make it as best for everyone. But it still has problems. So when they came to this year, they obviously had a bit more time to properly plan it. They're using this technology that Overwatch has called minimum latency, which basically live, like updating live, sets a minimum latency for everyone on the server. So say you have a bunch of people that are connecting to a server, and they're going to be on like 70 ping, right?
Yeah.
Then you have another team that's going to be on like 90 ping. What it lets you do is set the MS minimum to 90 ping, and it will just add extra artificial latency for the team that would have been on 70 ms, so that while they are playing on a higher latency, everyone is even. They ran a bunch of tests and said with the actual Overwatch League players, and all of them basically reported that the game is playable at 90, problems start to occur at about 110, and it gets bad at about 120, 30 onwards, right?
Yes.
But no one was saying the game wasn't playable. People are like pretty comfortable playing at 90. And that's actually the current method of what they're doing, to the point where the actual tournaments are going to work, provided nothing severely changes about COVID, by shipping the Americans off to Hawaii, where there's no visa limitations because it's still in America, and then having them connect to a server in Japan with the Koreans and the Chinese, which is pretty interesting. And I was just wondering what your guys' opinions on that idea was of like adding artificial latency to do things. I think it's quite an interesting thing from a technology standpoint.
Yeah, I think that's awesome, to be honest, to give all the players a fairer fighting field, rather than like relying on their connection to like when you can't control that connection as directly as you would at a non-COVID tournament. I think that's pretty awesome, pretty fair.
Yeah, because we had a few players in the previous season, which obviously got interrupted by COVID, where it was a really awkward situation where they had just signed a player, right? And they'd been, a really promising player from top of EU contenders, and then COVID hit. And here's the thing, getting that guy to America just became impossible, right? That's it. Dude's stuck in Europe. Which meant he was the only they didn't have a big enough team. They didn't have spare players they could pull out of the roster. Like he was needed for the team before the season started. So basically, they got in this horrible situation where they had a player that was playing when he was playing, because I think they signed someone else's emergency, because they used it. There was a controversy over it anyway. But he was playing for like 150, 160 milliseconds, thing. And of course, people were like reviewing his gameplay and being like, he's not been playing well. And it's like, well, you wouldn't expect him to be playing well on 160 ms, really, like in the grand scheme of things. But I think as a technology, it's a really cool idea from an esports to like to try and like do that, because a lot of esports historically have always just been like, oh, you can't play on high ping if it's not LAN, it's a problem, right? Like you can't do much about it. But it's definitely like they've really worked to try and get the latency to be fair, and like even though it's still high, it's even between the teams, which I think is the important part.
No,
I think it's cool.
I think that's the fairest way of doing it in this current situation we have, because there's no real easy way of, in general, doing it. You can't just ship everybody to the same country because it's physically not possible. So yeah, I think that's the best way of doing it, and I think it's the fairest way of doing it. If you make it fair for everybody instead of giving certain people an advantage, because it is. People forget this is for a lot of money. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, you'd feel pretty bad if you felt as a team and as a coach or whatever, or as a player, that you could have won a series, but you lost it just because of ping when it was like a tournament, or the championship match or whatever. Like that would suck.
Yeah.
Especially if you were the player that was on high ping. I mean, you feel awful for your team,
That's
even though it's not your fault.
Yeah. Man, that's weird.
I like the idea that if someone's internet drops, though, like everyone suddenly drops. It takes them all out.
That's not quite how it works, but it would be hilarious. Yeah,
that's the next step in fairness.
Yeah, no, they need to just do that. If it's what they do is they go back to the old COD style where they host it on someone's server, on someone's PC.
Oh god!
So
they make sure that every team plays every team 12 times, and then one by one you rotate for each of the 6 players on each team.
And then you average the scores, and then
it's fair then.
Yeah. Each round is on a different server.
You know, even though every time the LA Glads played, because it was conveniently on their players and they were on, 0 ms ping each, but...
It's fair. It's fair. Oh, man. That was a good topic, though. That was a good...
Yeah, I just thought it was an interesting discussion.
Okay, no, it was... Okay, it was a good... Yeah, discussion.
Because you guys
Such
are...
an unnatural way of inserting that comment there.
Because of both people that have had interest in / watched esports in the past. No,
I'm an esport
I
player.
think it's an interesting piece of tech for COVID and stuff, because obviously it's been pretty weird for esports to try and deal with that with the historic sort of agreement that they work on LAN.
That's true.
Speaking of though, it's not fair. Fuck it. So I'm complaining on Twitter now.
Do it.
No, that was good. Oh, anyway, yes. Right, we'll finish it up there. That was definitely a good way of ending it, in my opinion. So yeah, this was actually a good podcast. It started off weird, but since we started, having an actual topic to talk about, I think we spoke about some really interesting stuff and learnt a lot today, especially about like what HP have done,
What a minnow
Intel, yes, what space is.
There's a lot of hate for Intel, but I support that.
How we differ comets and asteroids. Man, it was good. But no, thank you very much. Anything you two would like to promote or say?
Subscribe to Twitch TV.
You got that one wrong.
Huh?
It's twitch.tv.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
carry on.
No, I don't want to now. You've interrupted.
Okay.
No.
So,
No?
I'd just like to shout out little Alex Horn and the next series of Taskmaster.
Oh, when's that?
18th of March at 9 p.m. It's got Charlotte Ritchie, Jamil Maddox, Lee Mack, Mike Wozniak, and Sarah Kendall.
Mike Wozniak.
Some
Please come back. Oh,
pretty cool
Yay.
people. A good bunch of people there, actually.
Nice, yeah. Everybody go and watch it if you like some British comedy.
yeah.
Just watch Taskmaster, it's great.
It is
Always
genuinely
watch
a great
Taskmaster.
show. And go on, Unfair, go on. Say something. Say something you want to promote. I wanted to promote your channel.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Don't have to.
youtube.com/delicious. And check out
Dear,
his
dear.
Twitter. Find his
Yeah,
socials
check
there.
out my Twitter. I've not posted in however long. Go check that out.
He's going to post a video tomorrow, though. That's not a promise. And
The important thing with Delicious is whenever you're trying to find him on a new platform, remember that the end of it will be different. Delicious on YouTube, Delicious 2012 on Twitch, Delicious YouTube on Twitter. He's great.
No, don't put this on me. Put this on the idiots who stole my name. I was trying to have a consistent brand going, and they ruined it.
I
Dear.
can't say much. I'm Delicious. I'm Tactical TV _ on Twitter.
Okay, right. I'm just
one
making
of those names went.
I'm just making it canon for anyone watching the stream still. That section there, I can't say much. I'm Delicious is exactly where the YouTube and other service edits are gonna cut. It's just gonna end on that with no warning, and then we're just gonna say goodbye to you and let you know that you have the secret, because that's just too good.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Thank you very much for everybody watching, and we'll see you in the next podcast. I need an outro. Toodaloo.